Everybody, welcome to another episode of Fourever Rivals. I'm telling you now, mate, we're pumped. There's going to be a big one tonight. Isn't that? How good's that tune, mate? I just want to say thanks to my mate Tony, who actually made that tune just for us. So thanks, mate. Mate, that's a pumping tunes. How is everybody going, mate? Before I get to the chat, Liam, how are you, my friend?
Mate, we are doing as good as ever, like normal. Not the results that I wanted over the weekend, but we're happy, we're healthy, we will take it.
I love it. Yeah, you got a few things to be happy about. It wasn't the worst performance.
Definitely wasn't, no.
And what do we got? We got Marco there now. Are you there, Mark?
Good evening, all.
Look at you, mate. Look at that in full HD, mate. Look at this.
My apologies for the last few weeks, guys, but obviously I've had some internet issues, so I'm hopefully back on board tonight. So, fingers crossed. I stay up all night. So, but yeah, my apologies for the last few weeks on my internet issues for some reason. God knows what goes on these days with, Dodo and NBN and PPS and DDS and RSPCA and God knows. So my apologies for the last few weeks. Good to be on tonight. Whether you want me on or not is another story, but I'm back on board, boys.
Well, we need you on, mate. We need that Essendon supporter. So you're looking good at the moment. So let's just keep our fingers crossed. And then, of course, on the other bottom corner there, Magpie Manny, how are you going?
Good evening, everyone. I'm doing really, really good, Rocco. Really, really good. Happy days at Collingwood at the moment. So we're cherishing every moment. We're enjoying every game at this stage. Happy days at Magpie Land, and good evening to everyone.
Glad you're happy. Just say hi to everyone. We got Sammy up there. How are you, mate? Yeah, go the Blues. We got Paul Muscles. Look at him, mate. Prove we can beat a top team. We did. We got Liam. Liam reckons he might be jumping on at about 8:30, man. We look forward to it, mate. Ooh. Of course, we got Enzo. He's asking about Liam. We have got a message here. I want to respond. This is from a Veronica Tompkins. My son has not left his room for a month. He cannot do his chores if he has locked himself away in his room. I don't know what you said, Magpie Manny, but you must apologize to my beautiful boy. That sounds like
wow. That's Jesus, Scotty, you got your mum to come on live to get me to apologise. Well, first and foremost, obviously his memory must be exhausted because on the day that he wanted a bit of banter, I did apologise to him and then I wished him a happy birthday. But, Scotty, if you want me to formally apologise to you, it ain't going to happen, my boy. You want to come on board? You want to throw a bit of banter? As simple as that. And a good evening to his mum. What's his mum's name?
Veronica.
Yeah. Well, good evening, Veronica. And say hello to Scotty.
So she's asked Mercy for an apology, and you don't want to give it to the mum. Is that how you treat women?
I don't have to apologise to the mother because the mother's got nothing to do with this.
The mum's asked you.
What, to apologise to her son?
Yeah, it says it right here. Look.
Yeah.
It's up to you, man.
As well.
All right. It's up to you, man. Let's hope that she doesn't get on more and more, all right? We got Rocco Morto. How are you, mate? Especially, everyone's up to it. I mean, Manny's proved it before what he thinks about women and how he what he said.
Hang on. No.
I just want to say, man, you've done it before. It's up to you.
We got words.
Alexander,
words in my mouth.
How are you, mate? I don't want to hear no more from you. I hope Scotty's okay. Veronica, we miss him in the chat. We do miss him in the chat. Who else have we got here? We've got Oz. How are you, mate? Oz is always there. Top bloke, top bloke. We've got Lana. How are you, Lana? We have got Marty. Marty, I know Marty. How Child Rocco? I haven't seen you for a while. If I can welcome Jay. Beautiful. We got Black and White. Boys. Yeah, he's going to come on soon. We've got the Wog Mum in the chat. You know who that is. That's everyone's favorite Greek. Welcome to the Wog Mum in the chat. Everyone knows that's
who's that? Who is Wog Mum in the chat?
I'm going to say it. Everyone.
I haven't been on the show for 3 weeks.
Come on, mate. Don't be like that. You know who it is. You know who it is.
Go ahead.
Veronica's starting. She reckons that Mark's going to cut out. All right. We'll see. We got Michelle Williams. She's always on. A good evening, everyone. Rocco, Liam Manny, and the word on the nail.
Yeah, good evening. And I hope Seba's doing okay.
Scotty is the go. I
was going to get Seba. I was going to get him delivery a box of tissues for this morning's results. I hope he's doing okay.
We've got Rat Poison. Honestly, having a bob each way. I thought Geelong would win, but I knew it was a danger game. Wow, you Geelong supporter. We'll talk about that soon enough. The chat's gone wild. We have got here, before we move on, we have got this. Lone Wolf with the $5. Thank you very much, Lone Wolf. Hey, all, what a great weekend it's been. I remember Manny saying we have no hope of beating Geelong.
Ooh.
Wow.
Well, you know, I'm the first to put my hand up and admit that Carlton proved me wrong. Could this be the game? Could this be the game? Could this be the game that changes the whole prospect of Carlton?
Listen, bro, stop trying to talk your shit and
No, not at all. No,
because I've got actual proof of what was said last week. I think that beating Geelong this week would be one of the biggest things we've done in the last 10 months.
You've got no hope. No hope of beating them. No hope. I actually think that Geelong's going to spank you guys so hard that it's going to be time for Voss to. Well, there you go. Well, you see, they say
now
it's a week is a long time between games. You know, is that the only way you can communicate?
Instead of trying now to make it up, right, and trying to act like you did something.
Not at all. I put my hand up.
Not at all. Let's have a listen to that again. I think that beating Geelong this week would be one of the biggest things we've done in the last 10 months.
You've got no hope. No hope of beating them. No hope of beating them. I actually think that Geelong's going to spank you guys so hard that it's going to be time for Voss to.
Of course, he blacks out because he's that's what he's.
Mate.
We just had a vision of Manny's brain when it blacks out. There he goes. There he goes. And guess what?
You know what? I've been proven wrong.
You're always wrong. You've been proven wrong. You've never been right in your life. Listen, bro. And not only that.
Fantastic.
Congratulations. Got plenty more. Everyone stay tuned because I've got plenty more of Manny's comments coming up during the night. So everyone get ready.
Must be exciting, Rocco.
It's so exciting. What have you got to say about that? You were so confident too, Manny.
Hey, you know what? When you look at it in history over the last 10 months, even a lot of Carlton supporters were saying to me, Manny, I don't think it's going to be too hard to beat Geelong.
Fuck what the other Carlton supporters. All I care about is what you said.
And I said it. It's black and white. I said it. I said it that Geelong was going to lose, was going to win. And you know what?
No, you just didn't say. No. You just didn't say You
Mate,
just didn't say
I think
that.
that beating Geelong this week would be one of the biggest things we've done in the last 10 months.
You've got no hope. No hope of beating them.
I
No
think
hope.
that's a bit.
I actually think that Geelong's going to spank you guys so hard that it's going to be time for Voss to.
So you just didn't say
I admit.
you might lose.
Oh,
You
okay.
said we got no hope and we're going to get spanked.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
You're full of shit as usual.
Right,
As
okay.
usual.
Good luck to
Manny,
you.
can I get an apology for listening to your dribble?
Cop that, mate.
Hey, Scott, stop pretending to be your mum.
And everyone stay
Ooh.
tuned because there is, I'm telling you, more gold to come from this entire.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go. Let's hear what Booney's got to say about it.
Ho, ho, ho. It's Father Booney.
We're gonna have Booney. We're gonna have Booney comment all night on this. Ha ha ha. We're gonna have Booney comment all night. All right, let's get to Mark. How are you, Mark?
Yeah,
I'm waiting for your props. I'm waiting for your 4Xs. Where are they, mate?
No, I've got nothing prepared this evening, guys, just in case there was some malfunctioning going on again. So
No 4Xs.
no 4Xs, but no, Manny
No 4Xs.
did have a bit of a point. I'm going to back Manny up here a little bit. He did have a bit of a point about Carlton. Look, all of a sudden.
No, I'm talking about you, mate. I don't care about Man anymore.
He's
Manny's
gone off
done.
already, mate.
I'm asking about you.
Yeah.
Where are the 4Xs, bro?
Well, there's no 4Xs. Obviously, there's
Okay. Where are
one
the
little tip.
potatoes? Where are the potatoes?
Oh, look, Rocco, I'll be quite honest with you, mate. When Essendon play Carlton, there won't be potatoes, mate. I'll actually
Yeah,
dress
where are
up.
the potatoes? Where are the potatoes and the 4Xs, bro?
I will dress up.
Come
as a
on, you kept
potato.
bringing them out. I want to see them now. Wait a sec. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring out my potatoes, right? Wait a sec. Wait. Let me talk. This is the captain. He's a big fucking banana, right? But admittedly, probably one of your best players. But that's your captain. But what we're going to do during the night, right? What we're going to do during the night is I'm going to make the team. I'm going to make the Essendon team, and we're going to announce it. So I've got the first one. So I'm just going to make him up. We're just going to make up the Essendon team. Here we go. Here's a stripe. We're just going to make up the Essendon team, mate. This is the first banana, right? This is the first banana. We're just going to make it up. Make it up. Here's the first one. Here is the first Essendon spud. Absolute spud. Let's go. Let's put a couple little eyes there. A little bit of a mouth. Oh, look at this. And everyone in the chat, please? Can everyone in the chat, please? Just can we unnumber this first spud of the Essendon team? Can we get a number from everyone? Can we get a number? What do you reckon he should be?
Don't go too close, because when you get too close, you look like a spud yourself.
All right, here we go. Do you want to have more comments? 69. Oh, Setterfield. What number is Setterfield, everyone? You should know, Mark.
He's number 12. Number 12.
Number 12. Here we go. So we got the first spud of the day. We got the first spud of the day. Number 12. Here he goes. The first spud. Just walking out behind the captain. Here he goes. A bunch of fucking spuds. Where are the 4Xs now? Don't worry, mate. I've got plenty of spuds here to build tonight. I'm going to build
that's a big boy, mate.
I'm going to build a full fucking Essendon side, mate. A full Essendon side full of spuds, mate.
You're starting to take the props away from me, mate. Don't get too carried away.
Mate. I got me props. I'm ready.
I've just come back
Rocco,
on
you
board,
want
mate.
you want to say good
Not much to say now, have we, Marco? Not much to say with the 4Xs and the spuds. Where are you now? Where are yous going?
Come on, Rocco, mate.
Yeah, righty,
You've beaten one team in the last 15 weeks, mate.
Hey, Rocco.
No, Essendon is not ahead of Carlton on the ladder. And quietly again for the fourth year in a row, their percentage is below 90. Great doing by the thing. Anyway. Oh, wait a second.
Carlton supporters are coming out now. All the cocky Carlton supporters are coming out now.
I'm loving it because I'm loving it because you had plenty of say a few weeks ago with all your props. All your fucking
I had every right, mate. I'm pretty sure I had every right. I wouldn't have done it otherwise.
You know what, though?
Oz, thank you for the one TJP. We love Oz, mate. Thank you very much for that.
Since you haven't been on the show, Carlton haven't lost. Carlton have won every game since you haven't been on the show.
Hey, Rocco, did you say thank you to Seba?
Something to think
Where
about.
is he?
Going on that, Liam.
He's given us I think he's giving you some funds towards the TJP to buy more spuds.
Going on that, Liam. Going on that.
I can't find it.
He's just above Oz Artis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't find it. Hi, Oz, everyone. Oz, Seba. Shut up, Manny, you wank. Yep, that's you. Yep, I got that one. I was watching the Pies game on TV again, Manny. Yep. No, apparently he did go.
I enjoyed the game. I did get drenched, unfortunately. I was sitting in a location where the rain didn't go too favourably for us, but who cares? What a great game. What a great game. Great game.
Oh, here he is. Sorry, man. Mark, you might need Stephen Dank to pump your players with peptides. They suck up. Seba, thanks for the $7.99. That helps the channel greatly. Thank you very much, Seba.
Carlton paper bag here, mate. Don't worry.
We've got the Essendon team, so can I'm going to do a little bit like, can we just who's the next one we can build? We'll build him a bit later. Maybe this can be one of your big bananas that again went missing. Yeah, maybe we can do that. All right, cool, man. All right, let's what do we got here? Veronica's back on. My son needs a sensible haircut like Liam. Yes, Liam is a bravo.
It's got his hair, mate. I like the mullet, mate. I just got it tidied, you know.
You're looking good. Mate,
I got stitched up with that action figure last week.
Looks good, Liam. Looks good.
Haven't I?
Looks very good.
Thank you, boys.
I love you guys. We love you too, Seba. I hope Seba comes on. Yes, mate. We will be putting the link in the chat. It's going to be a little bit later because we're going to have a bit of a chat, but you said you want to come on. So, yeah, about 8:30, we'll put the link and then we can get some people on. But before that, I think we should have just a bit of I might get, I know that Black and White might come on too to join in the chat, talk about some issues. You want to talk about some issues? Because you potatoes there are boring me now because absolute rubbish. But anyway, Manny's there quiet. He doesn't want the savers. Anyway, I might take you off because you never have anything good to say. Marco, you're still there, so I'm a bit surprised. Me and Liam might just take this bit over. And what do you reckon?
I have just noticed his name as well because of the chat. You've misspelt your own name, mate.
Yeah,
what is happening there?
My daughter done that. She goes, you know what? Stuff it. Your name is not Mark anymore. It's Merrick. I said, yeah, put that on. I was going to put something else on, but
we got Merrick on there. We got the Merrick.
Yeah, just checking the chat. I was like, hey, who is that? Hey.
Just in case I wasn't on tonight, and I kept on getting
Mark's internet is a bit murky.
Murky, oh boy.
So that was my daughter's choice to put that on. So my apologies for.
Why does this show swear a lot and tell the audience not to? You can swear as much as you want. I don't give a absolute rat's clacker what you say. And the show doesn't swear. The hosts swear, and mainly me. I can say whatever I want, but you can swear. The only ever thing I've told people is not to use certain words and not to get offensive towards people, like get personal and that. That's the only thing. But apart from that, rebound 50, mate, come on. You can swear as much as you want. I don't give a shit. No one's stopping me, mate. All right. Yeah, that's
just don't swear at the football. Don't swear at the football. When you're at the football, don't swear too much and get carried away with it.
Don't swear at the football. Yeah, that's it.
Rebound 50 is a Catholic priest. So that's why he's probably telling us not to.
He's a Catholic priest, is he? Oh, well done. Yeah. And it sounds like he's a West Coast supporter. Well done. We love the West Coast supporters. So it must be
Well done.
maybe from your end. All right. All right. We got black and white coming on soon. So what I'm going to do is let's start this. Let's do a little bit of this. Wonder what Booney's got to say.
Booney Army, Booney Army, Booney Army.
I got the Booney Army here. All right, we got Booney just joining us throughout the whole show.
Booney Army. Booney Army.
We might have. All right, we got big week, I reckon, outside of the football. I mean, not outside of the actual game and results. We had some interesting decisions made in the tribunal on that this week. And the first one I want to talk about, guys, and I want the chat to get right into this. And then there was I want to get into a bit later also about the welcome to the nation. I want to talk a bit about that. Let's get right into some controversy there. But let's start with the first one is the Curtis decision to get 3 weeks for the tackle. We all saw it. He's got 3 weeks. Did they appeal it, or are they going to appeal it, or is anything happening with that?
I think they were. Were they in today? Were they?
I don't know. I don't know what happened, but he got 3 weeks.
No, they went last night, didn't they? And they still knocked it back.
Was that the appeal? Was it? All right, fair enough. I thought I don't know if you can take it any further, and I think they should. If they could. What do you guys have? You first of all, there you go, black and white, straight onto it. They're not appealing. All right, they've just accepted it, and they've accepted that it's going to be a no tackle game this week against Essendon, which is probably like normal because I mean, if you're playing Essendon, you really don't need to tackle. But anyway, listen, everyone. I know Liam would have seen it. Magpie Manny, Merck, did you see the tackle?
I saw the tackle. The tackle. I think he pushed him a little bit too forcefully into the ground. But was the player concussed?
You know, I don't think he was concussed, but
he was concussed.
If you look at the tackle, the way he grabbed him, the way he fell on the ground on top of him, and the way the player on the bottom, his neck and the whole part of his head, it just looked like that. It looked very, very frightening. He's very, very lucky that he hasn't broken his neck. Seriously, I mean, it could have been a lot worse. A lot worse.
Well, it wasn't a lot worse. At the end of the day, was the player concussed? At the end of the day, the player was concussed, right? So these days, when you concuss a player, it's minimum 3 weeks, regardless if it was intentional or not intentional. It was a dangerous tackle from what I could say. If it wasn't concussed, different story. But it is what it is in football now, mate. You've got to protect the head. We keep on saying it every week. And he gets the 3 weeks, and it's probably a benefit to the Essendon Football Club on Thursday night because he doesn't play. But apart from that, I think that 3 weeks is reasonable because, like you were saying, Manny, what if his neck was elevated differently, and then what happens then? He's got a broken neck, or and then
I think there was more of an injury. I think there was more of an injury towards his arm or his shoulder, or I don't think he was concussed.
He was concussed.
He was. I don't think he was.
Okay.
Because he didn't look like he was. He was dazed. He looked like he was more. It was more of like some real damage done in the back of the neck, even on the shoulders. Now I don't know if that is seen as part of the concussion. I'm not sure.
What do you reckon, Liam?
I'm not happy with it. I don't think it had the action of a dangerous tackle for me. It looked like a pretty normal, pretty straightforward tackle. There was no malice in it. There was no intent. I don't think it warrants a 3-week suspension. I don't think it warrants any suspension. I'd even go as far to say that. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't see where
the guys at the bottom. If you reckon that was 3 weeks, that's it. Football's done. He's tackled him. The bloke that he tackles dropped his knees. You can see he's dropped his knees and he's fallen on top of him. How is that dangerous? That's a normal tackle. If anything, it's a push in the back, mate. That's it. How can that be? So now we're going to stop. I mean, everybody is in uproar about it. The players are in uproar. All the commentators have said the same thing. If this is the case, we are done, mate. We are done. You're going to stop people from tackling. That cannot be a dangerous tackle, guys. That is, and to get 3 weeks for that, for falling on someone's back, he's grabbed. If you listen to their reasoning, they expected Curtis, right, to all of a sudden and it was under half a second to do this. They wanted him to turn, right, lift up one arm to release one arm, and try to stop himself from landing on him. Is this where we're at? If anyone thinks that that's correct, I'm telling you, we are lost as a football. Mate, dangerous things are going to happen on the thing. A dangerous tackle is like if you deliberately go for someone's head or maybe, I don't know, but not when you're just tackling someone from behind. Mate, come on, mate. That's 3 weeks. That's 3 weeks.
If it's a dangerous tackle, I think of that slinging motion and slamming someone. As far as I'm aware, from what I saw from what he tackled, that's how I've been taught to tackle. That's how people are taught. You pin the arms and you bring them to the ground. Well, what was wrong with it?
Yeah. I think
is that not a normal tackle?
If he hit his head and he would have broken it and that could be at any case. That could be at any case. What about when they go for a fucking specky and they knee someone straight in the fucking head? Why isn't that dangerous? That's worse than that, I'll tell you right now. You get a fucking knee straight in the side of the head and see what happens to you, right? That is a joke, man. This tribunal have got no idea what they're doing, and they're ruining the fucking game, mate. I'm telling you, Parker from North Melbourne was exactly right here, mate. Get ready for a no-tackle game this week because guess what? Players are going to stop doing and they're going to change the fucking game, mate.
Even Curtis himself changed his Instagram to he put up the ATFL for Australian Touch Football League on his profile today. So, I think that shows how they're feeling about the decision.
100%. This is all about future litigation. That's all this is about, mate. This is all about future litigation. If you're going to stop, that is a disgrace. That is a disgrace. And it's not about, and I don't know if you're being a bit smart ass there, Mark, and saying, oh, he doesn't play this week. Yeah, all right, that's fair enough. But remember, it'll happen to you one day. You know what I mean? You're going to get 3 weeks for a stupid tackle like that, and you're going to go where we're at.
The AFL tribunal is trying to cut this out because it can happen to a player where they do break their neck, whatever the case may be. But
not that, Mark.
It's not tackling. The tribunal now is either a fine or 3 weeks. There's no more in between 1 week. I mean, like Liam was saying, doesn't deserve 3 weeks, maybe a week. But there's no in between anymore with the AFL. It's either a fine or 3 weeks. So, there's no in between. That's what's making it more frustrating to have a player, to go out for 3 weeks for that. But they're just again protecting the player. Did the player have the ball when he was tackled?
Yes, and look, in Sunny Day says the same thing, mate. I said it. The player dropped his knees, mate. He played for a free kick.
Exactly.
Okay, all right. So it's a wrong decision then. So we're jumping the gun and we're saying this is
3 weeks isn't a wrong decision, Mark. 3 weeks is like a wrong decision is a free kick.
So there must be a reason for the AFL to give a player like that 3 weeks as opposed to, giving a player that's probably done more than that and giving him a week or a fine. So there has to be a reason for the AFL to give this player 3 weeks.
To me, you know what it is? That should not be given any suspension. That should not be any suspension. There was nothing malice about that. He fucking tackled him from behind and he fell on his back. That happens, how many times during the game?
while we're there, I'm just going to get this bloke on. I did say how
Aye.
Black and White United because I want to hear what he's got to say about this too. How you going, first of all, Black and White?
Yeah, good boys. How you all going?
Oh, lovely, Mike. Lovely.
Yeah, good under the house. Very good, matey. Very good.
It's
I
a good
just
time
wanted
to
to
be a
say,
Collingwood
Rocco,
supporter.
I just wanted to say that that it's always going to happen when something different occurs in terms of the way they tackle or any incident that happens on the ground that shows. Because when you look at it the first time, but then when you go over it, and that's what the MRO would have done. They would have gone over it, and they would have gone over it, and they would have gone over it, and it does look a lot worse, right? However, I think what they're doing is they're basically using certain situations as an example, and they're saying, right, we've got to lead by examples. And that, as you said, it's all about protecting the players because who knows what's going to happen in 10, 15 years time when they come back and then start putting claims in because of the sport causing damage to them.
That's already happening. That's already happening. That's already happening now.
Like, how is that something unusual on the ground? That is something that is done 10 times a game. 10 times a game, mate.
But if you heard what I said,
I did it this weekend and got a free kick in the 50, right? Sorry, it was on him. Fell straight on his back, right? That could have gone either way. If they would have paid holding, I would have accepted it. They played it in the back, I would have accepted it. Imagine that bloke got 3 weeks for that. It's fucking ridiculous, man. I hate what they're turning this fucking game into, mate.
Yeah.
Andre?
Look, the shit thing about it is that in the law of the game and what they've been saying, they are trying to be as consistent as possible with their decisions. But because they're trying to be so consistent, there is inconsistencies in the actual decision because they turn around and say, oh, it's an action or it's an outcome-based decision, blah, blah, blah. I'm pretty sure he wasn't concussed. Was it a dangerous tackle in the first place? Look, maybe. Yes, it was in what they're saying. Yes. How many times have we seen that over time? Then obviously, it's if anything, it's a push in the back, play on, or a free kick. You know what I mean? But the problem is, if it's not worth 3 weeks, it's not worth the punishment that he got. Regardless, I think it's probably worth, if you really wanted to, set a precedent. Let's take the Bailey Smith situation, for example. Completely different, but we spoke about it last week. That was intent. That was like he purposely did it, right? Now, with this one here, he had no intent to smash his head into the ground, right? No. And he didn't even get concussed out of it. So, if anything, just pay the push in the back, right? Or pay a sling tackle and play on. It's that simple. 3 weeks for that. If they had said, listen, we're going to give it a week because of the image of it and all that type of stuff, I almost would accept that, right? If you had to. Yeah. But 3 weeks for that, and it was not intentional to drive his head like that.
And that's what I was referring to before. It's either now a fine or 3 weeks. There's no in between anymore. Yeah. And I would have been happy for a week at least. But you don't see a week anymore with the tribunal. 1, 2 weeks. It's either a fine or 3 weeks, regardless of what the outcome is. And that's what's happening, I've noticed. The last, probably 12 months, players are not getting a week for something that they might, strike or, like Chera, he stroked somebody. You should have got a week for that. Not a fine, a week. Behave and don't do it again. So it's too much of a punishment for 3 weeks for players that obviously haven't concussed the player or broken his neck. But that's the way the tribunal was going, mate.
If he had have, on that though, if he had have been concussed, if he had have gone off, then you can sort of justify the decision of the MRO and stuff like that, right?
It would have been 6 weeks.
You can justify it. I think 6 weeks would be too much regardless, but you're probably right. They probably would have, if he had a concussion, you probably would have gone even further. But if it was concussed and they gave him 3 weeks, you would almost be like, okay, that's because of the outcome of the action. Correct. But the action itself, and then they want to say, about the outcome. Well, the outcome was he was fine. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, what's the point in suspending a player for 3 weeks? You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's as I said before, there's too many. They're trying to be so consistent that there's too many inconsistencies in what they're saying. It's like it's like when someone tells a lie and then you try and tell another lie, and you're just circling around, you're making it worse. That's what they're doing in a football sense.
As a panel, as the batch review panel there, how do you come up with that decision? Seriously. How do you sit and give them 3 weeks for that? How can you justify that?
If you look at Andreas.
No, go.
If you have a look at it, and that's what they'll do. They would have sat there and they would have gone over it at least 50,000 times. I can tell you right now, when you see the whole initial tackle isn't that bad, but it's when they drop onto the ground and he's like I said, his head's up like that and his back's up like that, it looks frightening. And that's what they're doing. They're working off that and then the reaction.
If you
and then the reaction. And he looks like he's
Exactly.
damaged. I don't know whether he's damaged his neck. I'm trying to explain to you that this is what's happening. This is what they're doing. They're overviewing that, and they're thinking, you know what? It looked like he damaged his neck. Looked like he had damaged his shoulder. Who knows? It looked pretty bad.
The point is, if you slow down any tackle, it looks worse than what it is.
Of course it does.
Right? I
But that's
reckon
what they're
all
doing.
those tackles are going to look like that. As I said, Mackay got exactly the same tackle. Exactly the same. Right? Exactly the same. And they gave a push in the back, and that was it. There was no difference in the tackle. Have a look at it. He fell straight into his back. This is ridiculous. Remember what this game is, man. This game, right, is a tough game. It's played by men, right? This game, players are going to get hurt, right? If you want to take it all away, I'm telling you, Parker's absolutely correct, right? It's going to be a tackle-free game. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to stop players tackling now. How can you stop? As a coach, what do you tell your players? You still play, Liam. What do you tell them? You pin the arms and you bring them down.
Exactly.
And you make
That's how it's done. That's why I don't
How
understand.
many times has a player, one of your players pinned another player and an arm's free and you go, fucking hold his arm. You say it.
Mhm.
And then when they do it, you get penalised for it. No, this can't be good. I'm telling you now, this is no
I think
good.
the underlying issue for the whole thing, though, Rocco, and what you're saying is 100% correct, and I do agree with parts of what Manny said as well. But the end of the day, the AFL is copying class actions from former players, which is now behind the scenes and stuff. We all know what's happening, right? And they're basically getting sued like for millions and millions of dollars. So right now, what they're doing is they're preventing shit happening like this in the next 10 to 15 years when these players retire and they've got CTE, they've got some sort of delayed concussion symptoms and stuff. That's all they're doing. And the problem is because they're being so pedantic about it, right? Instances like this, the clear tackle that could have been pushed in the back, but he's hit his head on the ground, all of a sudden is becoming a 6 month jail sentence because of what they're going to potentially think they might go through in the next 15 years. And that's the problem. The problem is because of what's happening, it's changing the game now. So as fans, we're just going to have to live with it. And that's just the way that it's going, unfortunately.
There's a question for you.
So if a player is running full pelt into another player and comes off second best with an injury, who's at fault? Well, it depends. Are we talking about a head injury? Are we talking about a popped shoulder? Are we talking about, if it's a head injury, well, then it's the guy that's obviously created the contact. Whoever's come off second best is the victim. That's the interpretation of the thing.
What about if he's running full power at him and then the other player sees him coming, braces himself, lifts up his shoulder to brace himself and knocks him out? Whose fault is it? Then it's an outcome.
It's an outcome-based scenario. I don't agree with it. So I'm talking devil's advocate. It's the person who comes off second best is the victim in the whole thing. The person who initiated the contact is the one that's going to be suspended. That's just the way it is. And it's been like that for a long time regardless, but now they're being extra pedantic about it.
Look, and you're right. It is about litigation later on, and this is what they're worried about, especially concussion. You see a lot of older players now coming out that they've got concussion. I see it in a lot of older Carlton players because I catch up with them. A lot of them are struggling at the moment because the hits they were copping when they were young. And I do understand you have to protect the head. I understand that. This should not have been penalised. I'll tell you right now. But the question is then it's a bigger question now. What should they do about it? Because this isn't working, right? Should there be some sort of, you sign your life away almost and go, right, mate, you know it's a contact sport. You know that things are going to happen, right? You sign away and you can't sue unless it's something out of the ordinary that wasn't looked at. Right, that's the only way to do this now.
Maybe we should get into wearing helmets and shoulder pads and that now, mate. Maybe in the future it might be like that. I know it doesn't help, but or shoulder pads, or become a little bit like the NFL there, and maybe that's the way footy's going to have to be in the next 15, 20 years. I don't know.
Proven that helmets don't help. And Lone Wolf, thanks for the $2. Maybe it's time, and this is what I'm saying. Maybe it doesn't help because in the American football, it doesn't help. Or the only thing a helmet can do, right, is stop like a blow to the head, and so you don't get a blow directly to the head, right? But the shaking of the brain, that's what causes concussion, right? You can't stop that. Right? The only way you can stop that now is, as I said, what if someone goes for a mark and knees you straight in the head? You know that's a zero. That's nothing. Especially if he takes the mark, he actually gets a car at the end of the year, right? And he's knocked out this bloke, right? Does that bloke who took the mark, does he get suspended for that?
That'll be the next thing. That'll be and it was brought up. I think 2 years ago it was brought up on 360 when they were talking about this stuff and saying, like, if someone's going for a specky and they knee you in the back of the head, what's going to happen then? They're going to pay the mark or whatever it is. The only time it would be a reportable offence is if it was an unrealistic attempt and the guy didn't touch the ball. So what? A guy not touching the ball is going to impact what happens to this guy in the future or a suspendable offence. That's what I'm saying. It's too inconsistent. The only way that I can see that this problem gets resolved is we have to suck it up as fans now, and then we have to basically teach the next generation of kids and stuff like that coming through. These are the rules. This is how you tackle, and you have to change the whole thing, the whole process. So I tell my son now, when you tackle, he's playing under nines. It's starting to get competitive. It's not Oz kick anymore. When you tackle, you got to pin his arm and then try and bring him to the ground while he's holding the ball, so he incorrect disposal, and he understands that. So what's going to happen now? Like, I'm going to have to try and teach him something different by the time he gets to under 11s or something like that. It's creating bad habits now for kids. It's too confusing, but that's the only way that I think it's going to get fixed moving forward is you got to change from grassroots with the kids coming through and probably be more strict in the current talents leagues and stuff like that. So there's less of it, but at the same time, you're changing the fabric of the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It makes sense, but that's why the AFL has to change it, though, isn't it? Because it all filters down from the top, because that's what we all see. The AFL is the governing body for the sport in the country. So what we see on the screen is it filters down to the lower leagues, and it filters all the way down to the grassroots where under 9s or under 11s are playing.
And it's not police. It's not police then. And sorry to interrupt, but it's not police then. You know what I mean? Like, they might, you might get a free kick for a dangerous tackle or something like that, but you're not going to get reported at local football. So there's a big discrepancy from what's being taught at local level, right, to what the AFL is projecting on their actual on what we see on the screen or what we see when we go to the footy. So they've got to fix that gap. They've got to fix that gap now, but. Too many rule changes, too many variables and stuff like that. You can't tell a guy running at full pelt when he's got less than a split second. When you grab him, turn around, tickle his neck, give him a kiss, and place him softly on the ground. You can't tell a guy how to tackle like that.
You can't. No.
Yeah, and this is what I mean. Like, players are being taught to tackle. They're being taught to do certain things. I mean, as a coach, man, you tell them you must go in hard. You must tackle. Fair enough. When you grab them, just so you don't push them in the back, you try to turn so you land on your shoulder instead of directly on the back. but that's more about not giving away the free kick, you know. But as I said, in that one decision, that poor player, he dropped his knees, mate. He dropped his knees, right, to get, because that's what players do now. It's also, what about the ones where they put their head down and drive themselves into a pack?
Yeah.
They do that to get a free kick now, right?
Yeah.
Where's the duty of care there? What's happening there, mate? They're driving their own heads into the pack.
Yeah, just as there's a comment, Rocco, that's been in the chat here, and it's by Sunny's Days, and they've turned around and said Maynard got off clean and ended a footballer's career. Just on that, if you want to play pedantic and stuff like that, I'll fly the flag for Collingwood no matter what. But you got to understand too that Brayshaw had that many head injuries beforehand. It would have taken one accidental knock by somebody else to end his career, and it just happened to be a Collingwood player. So I don't want to hear that crap about Maynard ended his career. This that. That club had a duty of care for him well before he played in that qualifying final. So don't start with that stuff, please.
He probably should have been suspended, though.
Yeah, now, but the tribunal came out and said after that decision that going forward, if this happens again, they're going to suspend. It's the same concept as the Bailey Smith stuff. They set a precedent. Okay, this is the result for this one. It happens again. This is what's going to happen. At least they came out and said something.
Yeah. What do you reckon? What do you reckon, Merck? Oh yeah.
Where's Merck?
Merck's gone for a sec. He got So anyway, but that's years ago. I mean, you can go further back, and how many players did worse things than that, and not get anything. We're talking about now. We're talking about 2025. It's serious. It seriously is a worry that suspension. It seriously is a worry. And as you said, if he had got 1 week, you would have accepted it and moved on. Right? You would have said, yeah, fair enough. All right, maybe.
3's too harsh.
3's harsh.
That's too harsh. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's silly examples.
Well, that's not a good example. I'll tell you right now. That's not a good example because, as I said, Mackay got exactly the same tackle, and he smashed his head, and he was concussed 2 weeks ago, right? And nothing. It was just a free kick. So where is it? Where is it? Where is the consistency here? It's an absolute joke, man. It's an absolute joke. What was there? There was, I think, another suspension by a St Kilda reserves player. He got 4 weeks, I think. So,
I didn't see that one. So I heard Ross Lyon's comments. I heard Ross Lyon's comments about it, but I didn't actually see the incident. So
I'll have to double check it, to be honest.
Yeah. So apparently,
he got 4 weeks or something. Yeah.
Yeah, so he got 4 weeks. He got 4 weeks, but he's going to end up missing 6 because the way St Kilda's fixture is, I think they've got 2 buys on either end of that month of football. So he misses 6 weeks in total.
I think that's bad luck. If you got buys in between, that's not the tribunal's fault. You know, what I mean, I think Ross Lyon, he's okay, but he can be a bit of a silk too. He can be a bit of a silk too. We have got a Saints one here. Taurus was an absolute joke. Hit from front on football action. This is the problem. They're trying to stop them doing football actions now. You know what I mean? Players are asked to play a certain way, and now they're getting penalised for it. It's an absolute joke. All right, let's move on. I've got another one I want to talk about, and it happened on Anzac Day. Right, and it follows through to all the games now, and this might be might be a little bit controversial, but I don't care. It was the Welcome to Nation at Anzac Day. What does everyone think about, first of all, the booing, and second of all, doing a Welcome to Nation on one of the most sacred days in Australians' history? Or does no one want to say anything?
I'm happy to say so. I'm happy to quickly just touch on it. It's look, you got to be careful what you say here and stuff like that.
I'm not going to be careful. I'm going to tell you exactly what I think. I'm going to tell you 2 things.
I've got I've got no issue with the welcome to country in certain times. So if it's a big game, a grand final, I've even got no issue with it really on Anzac Day before the football. I've got no issue with it there, right? It's part of it's Australian culture now. We're conditioned to it. It happens. I don't like it when you're at work and you've got a meeting on Zoom or stuff like that, and people do it. Then that's probably a bit of an overkill. But to do it at the Shrine of Remembrance, I'm more of the opinion, probably just leave it there and focus on why you're actually there, regardless, than doing a welcome to country. But regardless, if it gets done, show some respect and don't boo it. I'm sort of like on the fence with it, because if you think about it, we celebrate obviously the New Zealand Army as well on Anzac Day, and they had an amazing, like the lady that sings it from the New Zealand Army, she sings the national anthem for New Zealand. She's like amazing, yeah, and the way she did it was great. No one's going to boo that. No one's going to boo the Maori stuff that happens there. Don't boo the welcome to country, but at the same time, don't overkill it. And there's a time and a place for it. Don't have it at the Shrine of Remembrance, and stop overkilling it, because I think it sort of defeats the purpose of it. At the same time, if you keep on beating a dead horse, it's sort of like, come on, like just know the time and the place for it.
We're all Australians, regardless of what nationalities and so forth we're in. We're all Australians, and it's the Anzacs, and like you were saying, Andreas, I was probably going that little bit too far. Just keep it as the Australian national anthem or whatever the case may be, and it just probably gone a little bit too far. But we're Australians, mate. We're all Australians, regardless of where we come from, and just keep it simple. And just for Rat Poison 2 in the comments, I'm not a commie, mate. I vote One Nation every year, so calm the fuck down. Yeah,
he'll give it to you, mate. He'll give it to you every single time. I'll tell you, the guys who booed, right? The guys who booed, absolutely wrong. I understand why they're doing it, because they're just getting sick of it. But the boo on one of the most sacred days, man, I'm sure we all know a digger or someone's in the Army Reserves or someone's been in the Army, right? That's for this country, right? So to boo was absolutely wrong, right? Let's make sure we do it at an appropriate place, right? Second of all, it should never have been done. Welcome to nation on the most sacred day. There's no need to welcome these diggers to the nation. These are the blokes that made it safe so we can do that ceremony, man. There was no need for that. This has become, I said this last night, the welcome to nation. I think it was great when they used to do it 3 or 4 times a year. They used to do it on the Indigenous round. They used to do it at the grand final, maybe even round 1. I can say we can welcome for the whole year or something. Now, let's be honest, people, and everyone in the chat. When you hear it, do you even take notice anymore? The welcome to nation is done anymore. No one cares anymore. We don't care about it anymore.
I think the problem, and I agree with you, which I don't often agree with you, Rocco, but I agree with you on this one. But I think the biggest problem is when, I think it was 6 months ago or 12 months ago, when they had some bloke who was on there, and he started going on and on and on, and then that racial discrimination part of it, and we were comparing it, that they've been here forever, and that that we're just outcasts that have come to this country, etc. And it's all wrong, because I was born in this country, but my parents came to this country and they accepted this country, and they made a life in this country, and my parents became Australian citizens, and they grew to live the culture and the lifestyle that we have in this country. And it's wonderful to be able to sit in a restaurant where we don't have to have racism and to sit there and judge people by the color of their skin and all that. But I think this is the problem, is that it's like they're asking for something which it's like we don't know how to express ourselves. We want our attention. We want something, and I think it's causing problems. I think it's causing major problems. And I agree with Rocco. You want to do it once a year, twice a year, 3 times a year, and then it's just move on. And that's no disrespect to any Indigenous people, all right? Because I've got a couple of friends who are Indigenous. No disrespect to them, but it's just you don't see Italians with their Italian flags and the Greeks with their Greek flags.
It's a bit different because it's there,
It's their country.
Long before we came here, so I do understand that. But the problem is when it gets thrown down your throat every single time now, everywhere we go, it's get thrown. I'm telling you, it's losing this impact, and they know it. They know it. And another thing, they make a lot of money from this now. Every time they go out there, it's thousands of dollars. It's become a business that is really got the meaning they wanted it to have from the start. I'm telling you, the Australian Football League has turned a little bit woke. They like to follow every single cause they can, and that's fair enough. Do whatever you want to do. But for me, and I've said this before, when I go to the footy, I want to watch footy. You can go at me. I don't give a shit. I go for 2 hours, and I don't want to think about anything. That's why I go to the football. I don't want to be reminded. It's not the time and the place to do it. What doing now is they're hijacking our beloved game for their own agendas, and I don't like it. I don't
Rocco,
care.
if you're going to go down the hijacking path, and I understand what you're saying, and I agree with it to an extent, but if you're going to go down the hijacking path, the welcome to country actually means something, though, and it's special, to this country. Now, exactly. But the purpose of it, and it has been hijacked by the far left, and doing it at an Anzac Day ceremony at the Shrine of Remembrance is not the time and place to do a welcome to country. You're there for other reasons. You can do the welcome to country at the football game itself, right? But when you're there at the dawn service, don't do it. Just do that there. There's a time and a place for it, and
it was definitely wrong at the dawn service. They should never have done that. That was wrong. But at the footy, I believe now it's too much. As I said, let's do it for the Indigenous round, the John Nichols round. Perfect. That's the week. It's 2 weeks of we honour the Aboriginal footballers. I love it. We've all had Aboriginal footballers. We've got them in there at the moment. We love the Aboriginal footballers. We love what they do. I love honouring. Let's do it at the start of the season and maybe on grand final. Not
or dream time. Indigenous round. Lock it on its head, mate.
Special events. Do it for special events.
Exactly.
Right? Because obviously it means something, and for everybody out there, it's the image, and it gets presented on a world stage, because a lot of this shit gets presented. Like, could be like for the Grand Prix and all that type of stuff, for the MotoGP and stuff. Do it then. Like, it gets presented around the whole world, and it shows the Australian culture, the history of Australia. That's great. Whatever. Just this Shrine of Remembrance. Don't do it there. That's all. And I'm all for it. Just time and a place. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. I'll bring it back a little bit. We know what it's all about.
Enough of the politics, but I thought it was something because they do it at the games. It kind of it made sense to talk about it. I want to talk about one more thing before we get to the games. Back to the tribunal. One of our players, not Chera, he got off, and so he should have got off. What a ridiculous thing. But anyway, he got off. But it wasn't that one there. George Hewitt, first bounce, runs into the umpire, $5,000. $5,000 they charge him. That's fucking ridiculous too. That is ridiculous, man. He got $5,000 for accidentally running into the umpire, right? And you could see the two players, they were hustling. He kind of half got pushed into him. $5,000. They paid the free kick immediately. Geelong got the free kick straight away. So that's fine. But he got $5,000. What's that about? Are you serious?
They're getting onto it straight away, Rocco, mate. They're getting onto it straight away, mate. Just don't touch the umpire, buddy.
They got a free kick. How much more of a penalty from the centre bounce?
Again, it's proactively. Like what happened with that decision of the 3 weeks. It's proactively telling the players, don't go near the umpire or you'll get a fine.
Yeah, but hang on a second. What happens? Hang on, Mark. No, Mark. What happens if the umpire's running back, or the umpire's got a duty of care for himself too?
He's in the middle
the umpire should have a duty of care too, not to be standing in a way where he knows he's going to have play.
The umpire normally, when he bounces the ball, he always puts his arms back, going clear behind me, right?
Yeah.
And then he bounces the ball. So he's gone back directly after he's bounced it, and the Carlton player has hit him. So he should be more aware, even though it wasn't intentional, but he needs to be aware that the umpire is moving back.
Aware, and they are, and they're aware where to the point where he gets a free kick against him in the centre square at the start of the game where it's 6-6 and it's very crucial. He got a free kick. You're penalising the team, right? But what's the $5,000, Mark? This is a money-making scheme.
It's not like it was like Toby Green the other year where he actually like went to the umpire and he shoved him and stuff like that. That's worth $5,000 and a big suspension.
If you lay hands onto him, I completely agree. Right? If you lay hands on him or try to talk to him and put your hand on him, I totally agree. But in the hustle of a centre square, you get
at the end of the
$5,000.
day, mate, there's a reason for everything, mate. People say, "Oh, well, $5,000, what $5,000?" Mate, you got a $5,000 fine. It's all about making sure that other players are aware about where they're at on the ground and making
They
them
are
aware.
aware, Mark. They are aware.
You've got to play the game still, man.
They are aware. It's been there for years now. They are aware not to run into umpires. They're aware of it.
If it's just a money making scheme, mate, right? That we're talking about, mate. What is going on? What is going on? There has to be reasons why the guy's got a $5,000 fine, mate. It doesn't just come out of his ass. He needs to be aware of it. The players need to be aware to move away.
Obviously,
how much more aware can he be?
Obviously, the $5,000 fine would have been paid. All right, the $5,000 would have been paid. The question is, did they ask the question? Okay, we're paying the $5,000. Here you are. Thank you very much, AFL. Here's more money for you, you miserable bastards. But my question is, I'm asking the question. What was it so wrong? He's accidentally done it. So does that warrant $5,000? Does it? Because I'd really like to hear. I'd like to hear an explanation about that. Because
I just think now that the whole. Sorry to interrupt you, Manny, but it goes. It's a very similar concept to the tackling from Paul Curtis. The AFL is coming out and they're basically saying, without saying it, the game now has no room for accidental mistakes and stuff like that, or for accidents.
Exactly
It's
right,
good.
mate.
There's
looking forward, because it might happen next week again, and it's just going to be a free kick. No, it's not just a free kick anymore, mate. Don't touch the umpire, mate. That's
but at the same time, the umpire, just as much as the player, has a duty of care, regardless of the situation. In this instance or in another instance, he has a duty of care to know wherever he is going to stand, it's going to happen. Remember a couple of years ago at the Easter Monday game, Jeremy Cameron kicked a snap goal and he was celebrating, giving it to the crowd, and he ran into a boundary umpire, almost knocked him out, right? Did you see anything happen with that one there, right? It was an accident. The AFL let it go. So what's the difference between this one here? You can't tell me that Hewitt's gone and lined him up.
I think the difference is that the umpire bounces the ball and runs directly backwards. He's running directly backwards, and most players are aware of this, mate. It's very simple, mate. He bounces the ball, he clears
Every player is aware of it. That's why there's a free kick. Why are you giving $5,000 for a free kick?
Now they're going to give free kicks away from hitting an umpire.
I don't even think it was worth a free kick.
They're not going to give free kicks, mate. They're going to fine the players or start reporting the players. Because
they gave the free kick. They gave the free kick, but the free kick shouldn't have been paid. It should have been a fine or a free kick, and leave it at that at best. Don't do both of them. It was an accident, for God's sake. He's not going to line up the umpire on purpose.
Because injuries like that player that got 3 weeks, accidents can cause injury. So like you were saying before, Andreas, they're being more proactive now, and they're making sure, be careful where you are around the ground, do not touch the umpire. That's all there is to it. It's very simple. We can keep bagging the AFL, but we all still watch the game every week, don't we? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it is what it is. They've got plenty of money. Get a fine, don't do it again.
Be chill like Liam. Can you imagine we had 5 Liams here? That would not be good, mate. We need variety here, mate. So you take it easy. But I love your comments, Rebound 50.
I'm upset as well, but I'm being chill. Because Mark, you're not making sense. Sorry. You're not making sense.
What do you mean?
I never make sense on this show, mate. I'm just a guest. I'm just a guest.
All right.
I just don't like it, man. Like, how? Why is he getting fined for something that's an accident? It's so stupid. And
I think
Andrea said it. He was right though. Like, as much as the player has a responsibility, the umpire has a responsibility as well. They've got to be able to play the game, man.
We're punishing people now. Like I think Andre said it, we're punishing people now, players, for accidents. That's part of the game. Like he's ran into him. As I said, I think that a free kick is enough punishment to a team. A free kick, man, is huge, man. Could lose
not if
the
it's
game.
not if it's accidental. That's the thing. Like it was an accidental bump onto
Yeah,
the
but I'm
onto
saying,
the
isn't
umpire.
the free kick like a huge punishment?
Like if I was a supporter, I'd rather the fine from the club, like the club pay the fine because that free kick can change momentums of the game. He didn't purposely line him up, you know what I mean? But then if he bumped into a player and he knocked him, it was probably play on, if anything, you know what I mean?
We've all played footy, right? We've all played footy, and mine was a while back, right? But especially when there's a contest, your focus is right on that contest. Like if he was a deliberate act, I understand. How can you pay that? He just got up anyway, man. To me, it's ridiculous. As I said, this week, some decisions, tribunal drove me nuts this week. I don't usually care, but those sort of things would drive me nuts, man. You're ruining my experience. All right, let's go on. I reckon we go on since we got Andre, because I know he's got to put away the kids, do his laundry, wash his house, probably wash his Collingwood jumper for this week. Who knows? Do you wash your Collingwood jumper?
I got a brand new one. It was my birthday. It was my birthday on Saturday, so the missus bought me a brand new Collingwood Clash kit. So
did you?
It's got the tag on, so that's sitting at the.
Your last one you haven't washed.
Give us a look,
Right.
Oh no, but I can show you this one. This is a special one. Some of you may not know. Liam might know this one here. Hang on a second. This one here is an actual. This one here is a Collingwood with the grand final patch, and it's got signatures by the players and stuff like that. Just waiting to get it framed with the 2023 grand final patch on it.
You know what that's worth? Less. That's worth less because you put the signatures on there. It's worth less than the new jumper you bought now. You actually took value away from it. Have you got Cox's signature on there?
On this one, yeah, he played in it's the actual premiership team. It's everyone who played in the premiership side.
It's definitely worth this then.
Yeah, I'm just.
Who is that? Is that Arsenal?
Just let it.
Liverpool, yeah,
Liverpool. All right, let's get to the games while we got you there.
No worries, mate.
I think it was the first game too, wasn't it?
No, it was the second game. We got the Eve game, Richmond game. So we do the Richmond Melbourne game first.
No, we'll do your game into here. There you go. And then we got both. We've got the Collingwood. I'm just going to leave you guys to battle this out. Collingwood was 16-11, 107 to 10-6, 66, fellas, 66. Essendon did make a little bit of a run there in that second quarter, I think, but then, or was it third? I can't remember. But I did actually watch this whole game. But then we just ran away with it. And to tell you the truth, I don't think Essendon were really in it at any stage. Maybe you'll differ, Marco. You definitely watched the game. I know you did, and you guys were there. So yeah. There you go, mate.
I certainly did watch the game. I was away, but I did watch it. Obviously, Collingwood, they're playing some great football. That's all there is to it. They're playing some really good football at the moment. You've got a very experienced side playing against the second youngest side in the comp at the moment. I did feel that the start of the three-quarter time there that we actually got in front by about, I think it might have been by about 4 points. So we had about, I guess, 15 or 20 minutes of momentum going our way. And that's a sad thing about Essendon. We get our momentum. We only play, a quarter of football and we drop off. But obviously there was some communication failures there at the coach's box there after we got in front and the rain started. And then all of a sudden Collingwood started to take over the game. So, so if it wasn't for the communication with the coach's box and the phone being disconnected after we got in front and the rain didn't come down, I reckon it would have been a lot closer than what we saw. But to be honest. Collingwood, very experienced, got some cool heads out there, and I just want to note a couple of our players. Zach Reid probably played his best game for the Essendon Football Club. We drafted about 3 years ago. Been injured for the last 2.5 years. This year, injury-free. Fantastic young player. Number 31, Dustin Fletcher's number. Jordan Riley, another young player, very strong in defence as well. Nate Caddy presented well all day. And I think he's going to be a gun in the future coming forward. But look, Collingwood at the end of the day, too experienced. But I've got a bit of an issue with Collingwood at the moment. I think going towards the end of the year, I think that those older players might slow down a little bit. So kudos to Collingwood winning 6 in a row. I think you might have some issues coming towards the end of the year. Coming towards the end of the year. But yeah, look, there's nothing much I can really say. A few players, I was confident with, but we didn't get through. The rain held us up. The rain held you up. Anyway,
it's raining on both sides, mate. No.
Andreas.
Just before you two go, because we are having a bit of a competition, I just want to know what player this Essendon play can be. So we've got Westerfield here, number 12, and we just want to work out what number. So if anyone can just give us
that could be maybe the Ferret. Zach Ferret.
No,
Zach Ferret.
We got Merritt here. Merritt's the captain, so we've got him running around, right? So if anyone could just give us a number so we can do it. Now we've got 23 there, so we have a bit of a comp.
Could be maybe Draper. Chop Draper.
Whatever didn't play. And that was a bit of a downfall as well.
Ben Mackay. Oh, that's a good one. What number does he wear? And he's nice and big too. That might be the winner. Anyway, I didn't know that apparently this week, just quickly before I let you two go on this, we had the Cat supporter, Catman, blame Jane Bunn for losing the game because he said that Jane Bunn had said it was going to rain and it didn't rain and they prepared for rain and that's the reason they lost. Now we have got Marco saying the same thing. So there must be something in it, Andre. It was the rain.
It was. Because
before Andreas starts talking about the team and how great we performed, can I just say that I think, I don't know, but this is just me just trying to, if we were to take the crowd and move them as soon as it starts to rain over to, what's that stadium that the home ground of Essendon?
Marvel.
Marvel. And maybe we move them over to Marvel, and they can play that quarter if it's raining in the with the roof, so that way you guys don't. So that way you guys don't feel that you've been deprived.
Would have beat you guys, mate.
We have a winner, number 32, Ben Mackay.
It's like a bingo.
He is a stud, mate.
Sorry,
legs 11.
I think the
before you go, thanks for the $3, Essendon coach. Thanks for the $3, mate. Thank you, Judd Williams. Go for it, guys.
So just quickly on that comment by Judd Williams, Essendon coach, I think the main point of this game was that Fly completely outcoached Brad Scott to the nth degree. If it wasn't wet, that first quarter it was already raining. That first quarter, when we were like I think 3 or 4 goals up, we could have been closer to 6 or 7 if it was dry. We completely dominated Essendon. I will give Essendon credit though. I'm not going to sit here and completely bag them out. Halfway through that second quarter, up until probably the first few minutes of the third quarter, they actually challenged us. They got the ball moving. They put us on the back foot. Was I worried the whole time? No, because every single time that Collingwood has been challenged this season by a team, we have responded and we have adapted to the way that team's playing, and then we execute our game plan. That's been the whole, that's been, apart from the opening round, we have done that in the last 6 games and we've done it quite well. in regards to the coaching side of things, I just can't believe that when Dacos then went to the half forward line or the half back line, I can't remember, they chose not to tag him. Every single coach is tagging Dacos this season, and they let him do his thing, and he kicked the first goal. And look, to be honest, he probably should have kicked the other two that he had regardless. I just think that it wasn't so much about Collingwood are so much more experienced and they're so much better than that. I mean, yeah, okay. But I think it was more the fact that we were coached on the day better, adapting to the conditions and adapting to the way that Essendon challenged us. For me, that's how I saw the game. And then you got strategic stuff, the way we blocked the corridor, the way we moved it on the wing, all that type of stuff. I can get into all the semantics of it, but I won't. But I just think at the end of the day, Fly coached us perfectly for that game against Essendon. And when they challenged us, we responded quite well. I just think it was a game of management, really.
Yeah. And experience does come into it a lot, Andreas, because at the end of the day, if we had a bit of experience or some leadership on the ground, being in front at the third quarter, it could have made a massive difference. So,
but with that being said, though, the same, you guys beat us 6 months ago at the MCG when we were fighting for a final spot. And the teams weren't that much different. You got a few players here on each side. You beat us convincingly. We didn't even beat you last year. You drew with us, or we drew on Anzac Day. So the experience was there for both sides. I just think it was with the conditions of the game, we were managed a lot better because at the end of the day, when it's wet football, both teams get sucked into the same style of play. Yeah. You're both fumbling. You're both doing whatever. I just think it was just coached better for us on the day.
I don't agree, Andreas. I think we've got to call a spade a spade. I reckon the Bombers are at least 2, 3, maybe even 4 years behind from even getting to halfway to where Collingwood is at the moment.
Most likely.
They've been struggling and struggling and struggling. And it's only, I mean, they were very lucky that they beat West Coast Eagles. Very, very lucky, right? So it's at the moment, I mean, they've got no experience. And they played one quarter football. You're right, but they looked messy. They just, and you know what? Now it makes sense to me why Rocco calls them spuds because they play like spuds.
No, Rocco. Carlton spuds.
I know, and you created spuds, and you're a bunch of spuds. So before you go on, Judd, thank you very much for the other $3. See you guys, go Blues. Thanks, Judd, man, you're a star. Just before you go, one more thing I just want to put up. No regrets. We know he's a big Collingwood supporter. He's come on. We love him. Hey, Rocco, you picked Cats to beat the Pies by 50 points. I don't understand. That was weeks ago. I don't understand where that comment. Come on, mate. Get off the gear and come on and explain yourself, mate. Yeah, keep going. Yeah. So apparently the rain is.
But you know what, though, Rocco? For me, it was fantastic to see side bottom, best on ground.
True. Bottom,
which is amazing for someone his age. Penalty, 31 disposals, fantastic again. And of course, the Dacos brothers, a combination of, I think, 66, 67 disposals between them, And we're talking about a team at the start of the season. I remember my mate Scotty. Scotty, I'll pass the message on to your mummy, and mummy can then pass the message on to you. But, Penalty, 37 years old. Jeremy Howe, 34. Sideburn, 34. The Cox, 34. Jamie Elliott scored 5. He was playing like a 21-year-old. You know what I mean? It's all about preserving. It's all about maintenance. It's all about conditioning. And, at the moment, it's working well for us. I don't want to get too
just with the management side of things.
Because at the end of the day, maybe because you guys have won a few games under your belt now, you might be starting to investing in putting some young players into your side now while you guys are winning. Because just by you mentioning all these players that are over 30 years old, be careful, mate, the next 2 or 3 years. Okay? So maybe while you guys are in front, start getting some of these young kids in there with the experienced players. because I think you've got too many old players, mate. They're doing great now. Don't get me wrong. The experience is fantastic, but I think it might cost you in the long run, mate. Like
I don't think so, Mark. Sorry to interrupt you, mate, but I can't stand this argument about our age and stuff like that. At the end of the day, we've got players we've got players playing in the twos. We've got young players that can still play. We are going to manage the players. Pendlebury said on ABC radio after the game, there will be games that he'll be managed. I can guarantee you that this game against Geelong, we will play our full strength available team. Then we go off to Freo. I can guarantee you either Pendlebury, Sidebottom, even a DeGoey are going to be rested, and then we're going to manage them throughout the whole time. So then what happens is we bank the wins now as much as we possibly can against all of last year's finalists. We're going to win. We've still got to play Richmond. No offense, Liam. I'm just saying we're going to play Richmond. We have to play West Coast. We have to play North Melbourne still, and we still play Melbourne twice. Our better part of the fixture is coming up, which is great. So we're going to manage it so that by the time this end of the season comes, everybody's fully fit. There's no way Pendlebury, Sidebottom, and those likes are going to play every single game. It's physically impossible. They're going to manage, and they're going to manage them.
Yeah.
You should have actually played your reserve side against Essendon just quietly and rested them last week.
No, hang on, Rocky.
Rocky, shut up. Let me finish, mate. Don't go interrupting me, mate. I'll fucking take you off.
Party polls, honey. Carlton won one game. Shut up, you fucking spud. What are you talking about? You got punished, mate, and you're playing with the rain. You should have played. I know why you didn't play the reserves because it was Anzac Day. So you're not going to play them because you want the big people there. You know what I mean? Or else that was any other game. You could have easily played like the Big M Little League just quietly. Yeah, we could have. Probably would have done better.
All right. It's been good. Hey, Andre, we've got a few people waiting.
It's all good.
Thanks mate.
Thanks for having me on.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. How was? Quando was 21?
My birthday was 36 years of age, mate. 36. I'm actually bald, man. So I've lost all my hair and stuff. So I look like I'm actually still Sidebottom in disguise. I've got my Anzac Day medal somewhere over there. So,
you do look a bit like
Andre, trust me, mate. I do all right for myself, mate. You're looking good there, mate. Don't you worry.
It's all about the beard at the moment.
The beard's important, and trust me, Andre, you don't look a day over fucking 42. You're doing well, mate. You're doing
Thanks,
well.
man. Appreciate it.
My grandfather said to me, men who've got bald heads, it's basically a solar panel for a sex machine.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. Anyway, I'll just leave you with this: Pies against Geelong we're gonna run ragged over them, and I'm picking the Pies by 37 points over the Cats.
Wow. Make sure everyone catches Black and White United. Make sure you catch his preview reviews, and make sure you subscribe to his channel. Have you reached the 1K mark or what?
I'm about 150 off. So
all right, come on, guys.
I did subscribe to your channel, mate. So
no, I appreciate it, Mark. Thank you very much. See you guys. Have a good night.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, we've got another guest here. I'm going to put on. We're going to put another guest, and we're going to talk about the Blues. You don't mind if we wait for your team after the Blues, Liam?
It's all good. It's all good.
All right, let's
guys
bring
had
him
a win.
on. Oh, we got Stephen. Thank God.
Where'd he go? He's gone to join Hurdy. He's gone to join Hurdy on what is it, Footy Classified?
Oh,
he's gone. Can't handle it.
He'll be back, mate. He'll be back. Don't worry about that. He'll be back. Hey, before we get into our game, mate, don't worry, the link will come on soon, mate. We're just going to do these games, and then we'll get chatting to some people, right? I just want to get through these games or else it's going to be an interruption. I just want to there's 2 more games to get through. So, and then we'll get it on. Far out. Black and white looks more like Rocco than Rocco does, man. I'm telling you.
He
Look at
does
you,
look like
you,
Saigon.
Enzo. You look like me too, mate. I'm telling everyone wants to look like me. While we got do you remember Stephen Dank? Do you remember this?
Rat poison.
Do you remember this? I think that beating Geelong this week would be one of the biggest things we've done in the last 10 months.
You've got no hope. No hope of beating them.
Nah, I think
I actually think that Geelong's going to spank you guys so hard that it's going to be time for Voss to.
Do you remember that, Stephen Dank? Were you there last week? Were you on? Did you remember that?
Where's he gone?
Here I am. Here I am.
While we're there,
But Manny, do you also remember that we went around and around in circles for nearly 15 minutes, saying that it would half get Carlton's season on track, and you said no.
What is wrong with the fucking statement I made about playing Geelong this week could be the biggest game we've played in 10 months, where we are at now?
Well, look at the way you guys have been the last 10 months. You're putting it down to this game. So what does that mean now, Rocco?
I've got plenty more. I don't give a fuck what it means. It means exactly what we said it means.
Stephen Dank, could this be the start?
Correct.
Could this be the start?
Stephen we don't know. Well, we don't know. This is the thing. We don't know.
You've used a proper word there. Could this be? Me and Stephen Dank never said that this would be the start.
No,
what we said was the last two games, he's back. The last two games against North and West Coast were wins, and we understand where we're at. And we said that when we play Geelong, we'll find out where we're at, and we'll have to continue it on.
Yeah. Sorry, Rocco. I just had the PSG. I had the PSG coach on the phone, just telling me that they had a training session in England this morning. PSG coach. Au revoir. Au revoir. Merci. Au revoir. Salavi. Au revoir.
You know what's funny? Manny said all that about the Blues because you really have no idea about football, right? And this week they end up playing Geelong. It's going to be a lovely, lovely day, mate. You have no idea. You have no idea the form or what Carlton was doing, what they were doing right and what they were doing wrong, what could have got fixed and what couldn't got fixed. You had no idea. You were speaking absolute rubbish, weren't you, man?
You played Carlton, you played North Melbourne, and you played West Coast.
We know that. We're not getting
we know that, man. We're talking about
we're not going about the win, though. That's the thing, which we said literally an hour and 20 minutes ago.
Okay, so what you're saying is that if you put in a great performance and you beat Geelong, this could be the turning point.
Shut up.
Well, no fucking shit.
I don't want to hear from
Manny. The turning point was last week.
I don't want to hear from Manny.
Well, so there you go. The turning point was last week.
I don't want to hear from you because you're an idiot. You are an absolute banana. Anyway, while we're here, let's get into this game. While we got Stephen.
You're looking pretty smart there, Stephen. Look really.
I've got the fresh haircut. I had to shave it because the peptides are getting to my hair follicles.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, mate. What's going on? What are you taking, mate? Like, it's just, you look really handsome.
I had to shave it because the peptides I've been taking, along with the steroids, they've been making me go bald. So I had to shave it.
You're looking good, mate. You're looking good.
Thank you.
It was 14-10-94 to 12-4-76, unlike what Manny thought. It was actually the other way. It was actually the dump. All right. We played a magnificent game. Probably close to the match of the round, I think, man. It was well fought. It was well fought. It was we had them from start to finish. Every time they come at us, we tended to come back always. Kick a couple, we kick a couple back. At the last quarter, which was really really a tough quarter, man. And we knew they were going to come, and they started with 3 goals quick. First goal was in 17 seconds by Jezza there. I don't like calling him that, but the first goal was in 17 seconds, and then after that, we responded beautifully, man, and super, super proud of the boys. Before I let Steve and Dan get into it, I just want to say something. I've been saying this for weeks now. I've been seeing the Blues trying to do something. They're trying to work a game and do something. Handball quick, move it forward. It just hadn't been working. This is the first time Harry and Charlie played together. It's in the last few weeks, the coach is actually playing players where they're supposed to be played. For example, Walsh on the outside. Mate, he had something like whatever he had, 29 possessions and that. You know how many tackles he had, Walsh? 2.
I think he had like 1 or 2, yeah.
2. And that's all he should be having.
But
Before that, they were playing him in the middle. He was having 12 tackles, mate. Sam Walsh isn't that player, mate. So they're starting to play. They're starting to play Ollie Hollands. The other one is Elijah coming into the side has made a huge difference. The bloke is very composed. Wiedering at the back. Silvani, sadly, will be missed a couple of weeks. But he's been the 4th best defender in the whole competition for the year. The 4th best. He's been good, mate. That was another good move by the coach to put him there and keep him there. Blues have been working towards something, and they've been doing a lot of things that were good. They were just doing some things that were really bad, and they were costing us game. You might have joked with the 4-0, but that game plan there, and I'll fucking mark your words, that game plan that we played and those players, if those 5 or 6 top-end players play that way and we play that game plan, that is finals football right there, mate, right? The thing is, we've got to get there, and it's a long season to go. So, but that was a great game by Blues, mate, a really great game.
Yeah. I mean, look, I missed, what was it, 2.5 quarters because my tyre blew out on the way to the G. So, I did watch it on my phone, but I was more preoccupied about having my tyre fixed. But, yeah, what a game. I think they just rose to the occasion well, which we haven't seen for the best part of a year. I think since the last time we haven't seen that since for the best part of a year, which is which was real. It was a surprise. Look, I knew they had it in them, but it was a surprise to me because just coming off how they've been this season, Geelong, I didn't really expect to go out there and we beat them at their own game effectively. Which is what we beat them at their own game. When you've got players staging for free kicks like Jack Bowes and Patrick Dangerfield, you know you've got them wrapped around your finger. And there's like the players that you can't stop is Jeremy Cameron. He destroys us every time. He's just inevitable. So if you can mitigate the rest of them and you're able to mitigate the rest, he can get off the chain. But if you can come back at him 10 times harder, then our best footy, we all know this, our best footy stacks up against the best of teams in the league. We all know this. It's just for them putting it all together and on the park. And like you said with Sam Walsh, it's a fucking wonder how great he is when you play him where he's supposed to be played, which is what we've been saying.
On the outside, mate. He's a fucking killer on the outside.
And I think Mars mentioned it on the show. There was that Sam Walsh's best game was against Geelong. It wasn't the one against the West Coast where he kicked a 3 in that 30. His best game was against Geelong on the weekend. He absolutely destroyed him in the first half. Yeah, he weaned off a little bit, but he still had the cattle to come with him. You know what I mean? When you got George Hewitt kicking goals from 60 metres out, which he'll never do that again. But you know what I mean? Look, it's giving me the thumbs up. But yeah, it was a great game. I'm not there. Obviously, you got the low points. Jack's done his hand, and Williams has done his calf, which we expect Zach Williams to have an injury in the year. It's just what happens with him. But yeah, I can't fault them. They pursued the ball. They won the ball. And they won the game of footy. So.
Hang on, Liam. We'll get there. Hang on, Liam. Won't be long, mate. We're just going to get through this game and then we'll get you on. Go. Sorry, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, it'd be interesting to see how you guys do up against Adelaide in Adelaide because I know you broke the drought, a 10-year drought last year, was it?
Yeah, well, this is the thing. This is what I was gonna say. This is what I was gonna say to you before, Manny. Is like we said, me and Rocco said last week. We don't know. Like, yes, if we win, but we don't know what it can lead to. It's more the fact of now you've got to back it up. And I understand you got the history of going to Adelaide and you're not good against them there. But you know what? They've got to find a way to block that out. And personally, to be honest, I don't think Adelaide are that great of a team. I think they're overhyped.
Yeah.
I don't. Their backline. Yeah, we have some deficiencies now because we've got Sylvania, but I don't think they're who is their backline? They need name tags.
And they got a good, like, they got some big, and we don't know who's going to be in and out for their forward.
Dawson's been shit all year.
Yeah, but their forwards are good. You got Tex, you got fucking that. So they got a couple of dangerous forwards up there. So
Ben Keys, I'll be having a bet on Ben Keys to kick 2 or 3 because he always does it against us. That's just what happens. So you got to live with those players, but we should be going there. And again, I said it 2 weeks ago against West Coast. You should be belting him, but not against. I'm not saying we should belt Adelaide. We should be going there off with a full head of steam, and we should be beating him.
Yeah,
simple as that. We should be beating him. We got a full head of steam, and
look, Adelaide's going to be tough up there, man. If we beat Adelaide, right, and it's going to be tough, man, to go over to Adelaide. They're a 4-goal better side up there. You know, they just that crowd brings them over the line. 4 goals easy, maybe 3 goals. You know, 3 or 4 goals better side up there. You know, than when they come down here. But you know what? We like Voss said, we're coming from a long way back now. To start at 0-4 and now be 3-4. But even if we lose to Adelaide, the next 5 games after that are very winnable. We got teams like St Kilda, we got West Coast again, we got North Melbourne, we've got Port Adelaide over here. Mate, we could be 6-7 and 5. We could be 7-5 by then. And then what do you got to say?
What was it again? West Coast. What was it? The West Coast and North again?
Yeah.
Far out, mate.
I'll take it. Hey, it's not our issue. We didn't make the game.
What are you talking about? You bet West Coast by
West Coast.
We beat
West Coast by 2 points.
I'm not talking about this here, mate. I'm not talking about this.
You're a spud.
I'm going to take my intake of this Carlton Football Club here, mate. They've got a great list, man. Don't get me wrong, mate. They should be there up and about, mate. Not waiting to play against West Coast and North and then play West Coast and North.
Hey, wait a second before you get on going. Wait a second. No, I don't let you talk. I'll talk when the fuck I want, right? Yeah. Shut the fuck up. Okay. Don't put words in my mouth. We never said we're playing. Shut up. We never said we were going to be playing West Coast and North. What I said was, right? What I said was, so don't try to put words in my mouth, right? You spud, right? Yeah. What I said was, Adelaide is going to be a tough game, right? Even if we lose that game, do you want me to clip this up and fucking show it next week?
I know what you said.
I said Adelaide's going to be tough, but the next 5 and 6 weeks after that are very winnable games, and we could be 7-5 by then. What is wrong with that statement? Don't try to turn it on me, mate. Mate, I read you like I read Manny. You're a Mr. Men book to me,
That was my theory, mate. That was my theory.
Hey, Rocco, thanks for the speech. Mark, I apologise on his behalf for
interrupting you. I'll take you off.
You know what?
Nothing. You don't apologise. I think that beating Geelong this week would be one of the biggest things we've done in the last 10 months.
You've got no hope. No hope of beating them. I actually think that Geelong's going to spank you guys so hard that it's going to be time for Voss to
You want to keep going, Manny? You know as much about
Yeah,
football
Mark,
what
what
I
do you
know
say,
about
Mark?
having a baby.
Shut
That's what you
up,
know
Warrior.
about football.
What were you
And
what were
you,
you
Mark,
saying,
When did
Mark?
he?
Okay, I think
Mark, what
you
were
hit the word on the nail, mate. Football. It's about football. You love football.
you hitting the word on the nail. Hit the road.
Well, nail.
Oh, do you want me to bring out the streamers and go, "Woo, thank God Carlton beat a team that's
We
Wait
never
up,
said
wait,
that.
wait,
Again, you
wait
put
up,
words
wait
in
up,
our
wait up,
mouth.
wait up,
We
wait up.
won a
Wait.
very good game. We
Just-
won a great
Is this-
game, and I'm not going to get a spud like
not-
you trying to rain
not.
on my parade. Do you
Mate,
I've got
understand?
my right to say what I
Now,
want to say,
everyone in
okay?
the chat,
You're
you've got
lucky.
one more
That's
spud.
a
You were
Sit
lucky
the
the last
hole.
quarter.
Spuds, you
You were
can't
lucky the
spud
last
there.
quarter.
It's
Shut
about
up,
again.
Slowly
shut
coming
up.
back.
It's very
Shut
simple.
up.
Geelong
I
I
was
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 coming
giving you
back.
guys credit.
Can we
I was
just
giving you guys
rewind?
credit, and you fucking dumped me, right?
Good,
I was
good,
giving
good.
you credit. I was telling you that you got yourselves a good list and all that. But no, Mr. Rocco had to jump in and fucking take over again. And,
Yes,
and,
that's
and,
what I do.
and, you know, look, you're pissing me off, mate. So at the end of the day, I'm
all
giving
right.
you credit. I'm telling you guys.
You were giving me credit.
That's right.
You
It
were
was.
giving me
It
credit.
was. It was
No,
praising you.
weren't. No, you
It
weren't
was.
because you turned around and you.
No.
When I said about the West Coast and North,
Yeah, because
you were in the
interrupted
background.
me.
No, you were in the background laughing, and then you turned around and mentioned, "Oh, you're playing West Coast." So you weren't giving me credit. Do not piss in my pocket and tell me what it's raining. Do you understand, Mark? You
What
want
I'm
to
trying
give
to
me
say to
credit,
you-
you give it to me. Do not treat me like a fool.
I'm not treating you like a fool, mate. I'm giving you the facts, and the facts are that I'll give. You want me to give you guys a fact? You want me to give
Tell me the facts for
We have
someone
won
who
for
follows Essendon.
30
Give
years.
me, everyone, get ready because Mark is going to give us the facts.
Oh.
It's
All
not
right, we're
about.
locked in. Mike. Let's go.
It's not about being a. It's not about being a special guest or not knowing nothing about football. It's about the
You
facts.
know nothing.
So
What are your
Give us
facts,
the
Marco?
facts then, mate.
What are your facts, Merc?
So you don't let me talk. Don't worry about it. We'll just
I'm on
regard it.
Merc. Tell us,
It was
Merc.
great to see.
Oh.
It was great to
Waiting
see.
for the
It was great to see Carlton take on a big scalp in Geelong. You know, you got to give them credit. You know, but you've got to be mindful. You've got to be mindful that Carlton, in the last 16 games, have only beaten West Coast and North.
But we know this.
Listen,
But
I know
do
you
you
know.
want me to
I
play?
know you know. I know you know.
So why are you
Yeah.
repeating
Why
that?
not? Let him go. Let him go.
Why can't he?
We
Hang on.
said it.
Hang on.
We
He's
said
trying
it.
to
Let
make
him
a
go.
point.
Let him go.
He's trying to
It's
make
not
a
the
point.
Carlton show, mate. It's not the Carlton show. It's
Yes,
Fourever
it is
Rival.
because it's my segment at the
I'm
moment.
telling my
Okay,
viewers
fuck.
that might
He's
be
up
out
your
there.
fucking
the difference
ass.
between
You
the jumper
fucking
punch
second. Let him fucking talk, for fuck's sake.
Right.
Shut
Let him
up!
say
I'll
something.
take you off, and no one will ever see
Shut up.
you
Let him
again.
go. Let him go.
You'll be
Let him
like
go.
a pissing- you'll be like a pissing
There might
man.
be
I
other
wanna hear
viewers
his
out there that want to
points.
see what I've got to say about what I believe we're
I
currently
don't
at.
want you to repeat something and say
not
what we've
repeating
been saying for weeks.
Wait,
Okay,
Rocco.
so-
Let him go. Let him
So
go.
it was credit.
Mark,
it was
what he's
credit.
saying is he doesn't want you to say things like when they introduced the salary cap, Carlton started going downhill. Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, we're not talking about things like that. Last 30 years, they don't
Yeah.
want to talk about shit like that. You know what I mean? Anyway, you go on, Rocco. You go
Go,
on, Mark.
Mark.
Sorry.
Finish what you were saying, Mark.
All right, say what you're going to say.
No, I'm not
What's he
going
gonna
to
say?
finish what I'm saying. Look, this is between Carlton and Geelong, and you boys have been talking about it, but I just wanted to give my little brief about, it was kudos to Carlton winning the game. You had to take a big scalp with the list that you guys have got. That's all it is. You had to take it. People are jumping on board and saying, that's fair enough. That's great. But I wouldn't be too comfortable knowing that now you're playing these teams again in West Coast and North in the next 3 to 4 weeks.
Mark,
It's an easy run for you boys, right?
I do understand. Look, I do understand.
Prove to your supporters that you can back it up next week against Adelaide. I'm not doing the tips yet, but what I'm trying to say is that you need to beat teams in that caliber. You need to beat the Collingwoods, the Geelongs, the Brisbanes, but you're not. The last 15 weeks, you've beaten fucking West Coast and North Melbourne, right? And
All
we
you
can
can do,
keep
all
saying
you
that.
can do, right?
But it's
all
the
you
fact. The fact is, that's the fact, Rocco. That's the fact.
The
But
fact
Mark-
is, you're trying to make sense, and you're a banana. The fact
No.
is this: we've never gone away from that. We understand that, and we said it. We've said it. I don't need you to say it, right? We've said that. So what happens now, right? After week 4, right? What happens is we work on the next 4 weeks, right? So far, we win a good game, right? We never said anything else. All I said was, if we lose to Adelaide, we've got a good run after that. You have got to now say it again like it's, mate, I don't need to hear it from you.
Wait,
We
Mark,
know where we're at.
wait up.
We know where
You did
we're
say
at.
your final
Mark.
contenders. You
Mark,
did say
I
your
do-
finals contenders.
Mark,
No,
I
I
do
never-
understand
Yeah,
what
you
you're
did.
saying.
No,
You
I
did say
never.
that, Rocco.
When?
Rocco, if
You buckled?
you did say 5 minutes ago, you said that
No, I
you
never.
are potentially
No, I never.
final
No, I
contenders.
never.
Did he,
No,
Mark,
I
or didn't he?
never.
Liam,
No, I
did he say
never. Manny, no, I never. Stop talking you shit. What
You did.
I said was that don't try to put words in my mouth. What I said was this, right? I said if we play that brand of football, right, and if our top end players play the way they did, which you know they're capable, that is a finals brand of football. That's what I said.
Finals brand. I apologize.
You apologize. How about you open up your ears and forget about the apology?
Mark,
Yeah,
wait
I
up,
put
wait up,
marmalade
wait up.
this morning.
Fucking-
I put marmalade in my ears this morning while I was making toast.
Right.
Hey, Stephen Dank,
Hit the
take it easy,
road.
mate. Take it easy. Take a deep breath.
Mark,
Now you can
Hit
talk.
the road.
Mark,
Yes, Bella.
I do
Yes, Bella.
look. I do understand what you're saying, and don't get me wrong. You know me. You know I've said it since the start of the year, and I've come on every week and I've said it. Obviously, you have to beat these big teams. You just have to do it. It's just,
Yeah.
and the reality of it is we haven't been able to do that since the
Yeah.
middle part of last year. We haven't been able to do it, and we both know that Carlton has some of the biggest bandwagon supporters in the league.
Yeah.
It's a known fact. And me and Mars, and we say it every week to each other. Everyone will jump off. And mind you, I'll jump off the train, but I live and breathe Carlton. I go to every fucking game. I watch
Yeah.
every fucking show. I'm sick in the head. I've got issues, right?
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, you're going to get those supporters. Oh, the lid's off of this. Nothing's off, mate. We're still
off,
got a
mate.
negative. We're still negative ledger.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
We're still.
My
we're still
philosophy.
sick.
My
Go.
philosophy is that you've got
You
the
know
list
what,
to do
though,
it.
Stephen
You've got the list to do it. That's the key. That's what's pissing me off
Yeah,
about
right,
Carlton.
No, you are right. You
know
are
what,
right.
though? There's nothing wrong.
Great players, but
There's nothing wrong with cherishing these kind of games. There's nothing wrong with it.
That's right.
Well, that's
Enjoy
all I've
it,
been
enjoy
able to do. I haven't been able to cherish anything because I fucking won nothing.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, at least you're
But you're not like
you know
Essendon,
what?
mate. You're not like Essendon.
You
that
enjoyed this game. You know what? You came out as a winner. It's good. It's good.
All-
You're
But
enjoying
Manny, up until 2023, the best thing I could say that I witnessed as a Carlton supporter in the flesh was I was there for when we beat Richmond, when we finished 9th. That's all I had. And all I've got now
And you know
is
why? No, sorry. And you know why? And no regret says to be calm down. Mate, I won't calm down. This is my show. I do whatever the fuck I want on this show. You don't like it, go and watch another show. That's the first thing. Second thing, the reason I'm getting pissed off is because you guys are trying to throw things at us, right, that we've been saying. And you're trying to make us look like fools. We never said that playing West Coast. I think all I stated was a fact.
But it is a fact.
Yeah,
Okay.
the fact is that after this week, we've got 5 or 6 winnable games.
That's the past. That's the future. This is the past. Really, who have you guys have beaten the last? Who have you guys beaten?
Oh my God, but we've said that, Mark.
I
I'm
know,
talking
Rocco.
about, I don't care what's happened. I
Okay.
don't care. We only care about what's from now onward. How
Yeah,
can
of
you
course.
worry?
Yeah,
Do you
wait up,
live
wait
life looking in the rearview mirror, do you? Is that
Wait
how
up.
you live your life?
just to pull everything back into one, right? Now, I still to this day, and it'll live for the rest of the season, is that, and you know what, it'll live beyond this, that I still can't get over the fact that we lost to Richmond. And look, again, it's no knock on Richmond, but to be considered a flag favourite or a flag contender, you can't lose to teams like that. It's as simple as that. And to me, in my eyes, mate, we are as far off as being contenders as what North Melbourne are. In my eyes, and again, Al said it in the chat. I'm under no illusion, and the normal level-headed supporters are under no illusion. We're still back of the pack, and we're nowhere near closer to the flag as than what North are. In my eyes,
no, that's bullshit. That's bullshit because you've got the potential and the players to do that. Carlton now should
no. But this is the thing.
You know what Rocco was saying. You should beat these teams now.
But you see, this is
6 or 7 in a row and contend to be in the grand final. That's the list that you guys have got, brother. Listen, you got that list now. If you don't do it now, when are you going to do it?
I know what you're saying, but the thing is, Mark, it's always, oh, but you've got the list, or but you've got this, or but you've got that, and I know that, I 100%, I agree with you to a certain extent, but sometimes it may not even be the best list that wins you the flag.
No, of course not.
Don't worry about flags. You're a long way away from flags. But let's talk about. Listen. Shut up for a moment, Rocco. What I wanted to say was,
Mark, we played West Coast again in round 14, North Melbourne again. That's a fact, mate.
That's another 4 or 5 rounds. I don't know.
Well, hang on. You play St Kilda. You play Adelaide. I mean, that'll be a good game. I think that'll be a good test for you guys. Then you play the Saints, and I think you should beat the Saints.
I know, and we're taking it 1 week at a time.
Then you got Sydney. I think you got Sydney away
up there.
Yeah, and then you come back here and you play GWS. So potentially, I think for the first time, with the help of Seba, Rocco is starting to make a little bit of sense there, Marco.
Here we go. Lone Wolf, thanks for the $5. The talent is there, but talent alone isn't enough. Our problem, in my opinion, is in the heads. And this is what I'm saying, man. I said it before. If our talented players play to their potential the way they did against Geelong, and we play that brand of football, we play a good brand of football, man. We're hard to beat. But the problem is, does that happen? You know what I mean? Like to do that week in and week out, quarter in and quarter out, it just doesn't happen. You know what I mean?
True, Rocco. We know this, and you guys, whether you watch our games or not, how many games in the past, let's say since 2023, there's probably been over 10 games that we have won purely based on the talent that we have, not with everyone else coming with them. It's just purely based on that. You've got arguably the best full forward in the league, if not, I think he is when he's on his day. But when you've got Charlie Kerner and Harry and stuff like that, we've won it purely just on our big players. But you can't depend on that to win you a flag or go deep into the finals. You just can't depend on that.
But I think that's what we're working towards, Seb. I mean, and you can see that. And as I said, I've been noticing the last 3 or 4 weeks, we have been trying this game plan. And if you notice, like even against Geelong, we were moving the ball quick by hand, moving it forward. That's what impresses me. And it started to pay off a bit. And once we start doing that, we start looking dangerous. You know what I mean?
But can I just say something?
Geelong probably played their worst game of football in the last 2 years. To be honest.
And I hate that. I hate that. Why did they play their worst brand?
I think we just beat them at their own game.
I think we put them the worst game. The worst game
because we put them under pressure. Because that's a cop out. That's a cop out.
Other teams need to do the same.
Right. Can I just point something out? I don't know what gear you're on or whatever, but no regrets. He's on some serious shit saying that what talent Carlton have.
Oh, no regrets. He's trying to be funny.
I know, but he's got to be on some serious gear.
You haven't got a brain cell in that head of yours. What talent? Are you serious?
All right.
Now
Are you
serious?
Can I ask a question?
Come on, bro. You really
I ask
want
a
to
question?
put up a question?
Hey,
Where's Liam?
right.
I haven't heard from
Right.
Richmond game. The Richmond game.
Yeah, Mark. Yeah, Mark.
Richmond.
Before we talk about the low
Richmond
tier
game.
teams, before we talk about the lower tier teams, right. So we're on. Sorry, Liam, but we gave you 5-6 weeks just to butter you up. Now you got to remember, welcome to the world of banters. Now we got round 8. Is it round 8 we got this week?
Yes,
round
sir.
8. All right. So Carlton, Essendon, they meet in round 13. At the moment, you're both on equal points. Now, Mark, here's where you put your money where your mouth is. You put where your balls up. Put your balls where on the line. Where do you think you guys are going to be? By the time you guys come to that game, round 13, will you be on top of Carlton? That's the question.
It's not about being on top. We'll beat Carlton. Mate. Don't worry. Like I said, when we play Carlton, I am going to dress up. I've already ordered from the costume party. It's a spud. I'm going to be an actual spud here. I'm just going to be sitting there going,
All right.
Come on, bro. You're a bunch of spuds. You just beat West Coast. Melbourne almost got you. And then Collingwood made you look like a bunch of little girls, right? And you want to talk about our side. Come on, bro, man. You got to be serious here.
Can I just wait, Mark,
us spuds.
Mark, you already
Manny, you've opened up a can of worms now, Manny, mate, and you've started something that we don't need to talk about now.
Wait,
Can we talk about? Can we talk a bit about Melbourne and Richmond? Because I actually thought it was a really good game.
Before you go on 1 second, I just want to say to Mark that, and I really do like him as a player in your team. That Sam Durham is going to be a fucking serious player. He's going to be a serious player.
He's the only look. And I was talking to my brother and my son about the Bombers lately, and we just haven't got those hard nuts what we used to have. Jason Johnson, Mark Johnson, Dean Solomon. So many players.
He's going to be a serious player.
Yeah, he's the only probably player that at this stage just goes in so hard. We just need a few players to just jump on board. Ben Hobbs maybe, but Sam Durham, mate. And he was a mid-season draft pick too from Richmond. So
you had D'Ambrosio as well, and you fucked him off.
Yeah, I know that's the sad thing, mate. So,
but what can you do?
What can you do, mate?
I'll let you
I love him as a player. I love him as a player, and he kicked a couple of goals on the weekend against Collingwood.
His 2 goals are great. His 2 goals are good.
Yeah, it's good.
But I'll let you all get to it.
I've actually got a replay of that. Gets the ball and he's running down the ground.
Hey Liam, see, you got to get in there, mate. When you got a chance, go to West. Where are you in Western Australia, Liam? Where are you?
Where?
Yeah, what location?
Northern suburbs, mate.
Are the potatoes
Northern
bigger or
suburbs,
smaller?
30 minutes out of Perth.
Are there big potatoes there or small potatoes?
Jeez, I haven't noticed, to be honest, mate.
You don't mind, do you?
Spuds, mate.
Next time you go to the local Fourever, mate, grab a big packet of spuds, mate.
You know what? Everyone's so glad that your internet is working because the gold that's coming out of your head. Booney wants a bee, mate. Booney wants a bee. All right, let's move on to. I think Liam's been quiet there. Let's get into this game here.
Oh, poor Van Haar. Enzo, don't mention poor Van Haar.
12-11-83 to 9-9-63. That's all I can say. They were okay, mate. They put up a good effort. They actually gave Melbourne a bit of a run, which was good.
Nah, man, it was probably a good game for the neutrals. Hey, like it had a lot going on. It was a lot of back and forth, a lot of good exchanges from each team. I think, it was in some ways a disappointing result, but I think we played well enough. I think the biggest problem was we didn't convert in front of goal. I look at a guy like Tom Lynch, probably still his best game of the season, was really good, but he still missed a few chances. I think some of those guys in the midfield were really good again. I thought Campbell Gray was good in his debut. I think Seth Campbell's still been really good all season. Morris Rioli, he had a quiet game. I thought he was going to get subbed off because he was really good the week before, and then nothing this week. Wasn't even like he's out there. He's the only player I'd probably have a crack at from this one. But no, it was hard. I think Melbourne have some superstars. We tried everything we could to stop Max Gawn, but he destroyed us. Like Nank didn't even that bad of the game, but credit to Gawn, he's a gun. Guy like Christian Petrarca was really good again. He's one of my favourite players to watch from another team. He destroyed us all night. But yeah, look, I think the biggest thing was, when we had the chances, we didn't convert, particularly that first half. We actually got a lot of the ball inside. We had a lot of good ball movement. We just didn't quite capitalise. I think it was 3 points, 4 points at halftime. And then, once some of those Melbourne big guns started getting going in the second half, we just couldn't really close that gap all game. So it was a little bit disappointing in the fact I did think that we could win this game, and I thought it was a winnable game, particularly going on that performance the week before against Gold Coast. But yeah, look, it was a pretty good effort. I can't complain too much. Cop it on the chin. Right.
That's
it. I thought it was a good game.
I do think that Richmond again, I don't know why, but they just seem to, you'd think coming into the season, or everyone thought it, they're going to get pumped by everyone. Case in point against us, and they've pulled off some pretty good wins this year. And I just think that's just the lack of experience in the team. I mean, if you've got more players, you've got more 100-game players and stuff like that, I think more than likely you win that game. Because to be honest, I don't think Melbourne were that great.
I think you're right, to be honest, because it was the Melbourne big guns that got it done for them, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had chances to win that game. We just didn't take it.
You probably did.
When Petrarca's on fire, he just seems to, he's a game changer.
When he's on fire, he's he's the best player in the league.
He's a gun, man. I love the
he comes up second behind Dacus.
No, I think there's two completely
different players, mate. Petrarca takes over, man. He's a strong beast, mate. Kicks goals,
And again, what people forget to realise is that Petrarca is a Norm Smith medalist, and he won that grand final for him.
Oh yeah, if you remember that grand final, they were nowhere in that first half.
It cost me so much money; it's not even funny.
Hey, Lee, I'm not quite sure if you boys had a bit of a conversation about Noah Bolter last week, but
yeah, we did.
So is he on the injury list as a curfew? I've never seen that in football before. So is injury list, is it called curfew, or is it TBA, or is it?
Nah, I mentioned it last week. It's stupid.
He can actually play. The only thing is he can't play at night.
He'll probably get picked this week. He really will. It's stupid.
Do you reckon they should just stop playing?
He's not on the injury list. We've just stuffed up.
Boy.
But do you think if he can play a game, say on a Saturday afternoon, do you reckon that Richmond should still play him, knowing that the week after he can't play? You know what I mean? Like, is it worth putting him in, or is it worth just maybe just?
Yeah, it's the problem that I had last week. I was just kind of like, it's a stupid situation because we've gone in and we've brought in someone. We've brought in Campbell Gray this week. We brought Luke Traynor back into the starting lineup this week. But Noah Bolter's probably going to come in this week. So who's the unlucky guy that misses out? So I don't think either of those players that I mentioned were bad. But
do you believe that they should bring him in?
This is where we stuffed up by playing him the week early. It was like, should have just waited to the sentence, see what happens, then go from there. Yeah, it's a real mess how we've handled it. I really can't explain it a lot better than that. It's a real mess, and it's going to cause some problems for us going forward.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I've got a couple of some other people. So Stephen Dank, I'm going to let you go.
I give him my tip.
And just quickly, Enzo just jumped on something about Paul Van Haar. Now, just quickly, guys, all you Essendon viewers out there, Paul Van Haar is my favourite player. I love him, number 8 in the Flying Dutchman. So I just thought I'd bring out one of my little thingos. So, Vince, Paul Van Haar, it's been signed. You know how much these guys are going for now? This original.
That'll be I listen. I actually saw one of them, and they're going for about at least $3.50, I think it was.
Nah, put an extra few zeros on that, mate. Yes, so Vince, Paul Vanderhaar is my friend. It's like a man love. I love him so much. Love him. Paul Vanderhaar, number 18. Love you, buddy.
Before we head off, I don't think it's been mentioned yet. Big rest in peace to Buzz. What a champion.
Yes.
Now you're bringing on your memorabilia. The Buzz.
Yes. Yeah, Peter Bazaste. Fantastic.
The player edition. These were his cards.
That's a player edition. There's only one of them.
See, it's got player right there.
Yeah, that's Peter Bazaste, mate. Fantastic.
Rest in peace to Buzz.
Player, wasn't he?
Just before you go, apart from all the jokes and all the banter we do, I knew Buzz personally, so I would speak to him on the phone and that. So it was sad news to hear. He fought long and hard for 3.5 years, man, and he was a star for Carlton, man, and he was a star off the ground too, man. So all condolences to his family, all supporters, man. The bloke was a legend, and just and this is just quickly. I had a bit of a rant a few weeks ago about is the game is it more than just a game? I'll take it easy, Rocco. It's just a game. Well, Buzz watched the Carlton Geelong game the night before in his deathbed, and apparently when they won, he punched the air and said, "Go the Blues, man!" And then he passed away 3 o'clock in the morning. So to all you people that say that it's just a game, tell him and his family that. So rest in peace, brother, and condolences to everyone, man. Like we're all at the end of the day, we're all one family here.
That's it. And I give my tip, they're going to get up for Buzz. Carlton by 3 points.
I love it.
Love it.
All right. Thanks,
Take
mate.
care, lads. Lovely to be on again. See ya.
See you, Steve-O.
So just before we're going to get someone special on just in 1 second, but I've actually got, before we get him on, I've just got I just want to get No Regrets on for a sec. Can you just
is the epitome of a Collingwood. Go to Pines! Come on! Yeah. Come on. I'm from Maui! I'm from Maui!
Yeah, so thanks to for No Regrets. Well done, mate, for making your thing. Look who we got here, mate. We have got Liam. How are you, brother, mate? How are you, mate? I hope we're not too loud for you, mate. I hope like you gotta just relax there, mate. We're all a loving bunch of people here.
I know.
Rocco, and you're a big fan of Liam, aren't you?
Yes.
So tell us a bit about yourself, man, and speak to Liam, your idol there, mate. Tell us a bit about yourself, mate, about the Blues and what you do and all that, man. What's going on?
So I'm a Carlton fan, of course. I'm a massive wrestling fan, as you probably know through the chat.
Yes.
So Carlton, I've been supporting them since I was born. So also been watching your channel since day one, Rocco. So
thank you very much.
Chat, but I've been watching.
I think you have to grow into getting into the chat. I reckon it took you a few years. You're old enough now to listen to this banter. So good stuff, brother, man. We're glad you're on.
Thank you, Rocco. You guys always entertain me every Wednesday night.
Liam, who's your favourite wrestler? Who's your favourite?
Oh, Jey Uso.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
What about?
Here he is, man.
Hogan.
He's actually my favourite, man. I've been getting back into it. He's my favourite, man.
Yeah. He's a star, just like Carlton were this week.
Exactly, mate. Now tell me, have you guys... Well, Liam, speak to Liam.
Well, Liam, glad you've jumped on board. You've been a star since you've come.
Thank you, mate.
You were.
Appreciate it.
Unlike your rubbish team that you support, but what can I say?
Whoa!
Sorry,
What?
I love it. I love this. Look what we've turned him into.
Mate, he's
I don't hold back.
supposed to be in the chat and he comes and rips me now. Oh boy.
Nah, Liam, you're not like Manny and Mark, mate. You're all good. You actually got the knowledge.
The knowledge,
Go,
mate.
mate. Look, we're starting real
Yeah, that boys. I've got the knowledge, mate. Love it, mate. That is beautiful.
Tell me, Liam, the star Liam, not you, Liam, from fucking West Australia. This Liam over here, the young tacker. Who's your favourite player in the Blues, mate?
I reckon we can beat the Crows this week. We
Yes.
just got to bring the same pressure. I think we can do it. We're very capable of doing it. It's just I'm worried about, like, we're very bad at Adelaide Oval against the Crows. And the past couple of years, like last year especially, was heartbreak when Berry, I think his name is, kicked that goal. So hopefully we can get one up on him and win. So I reckon we'll get up by about 10 points.
I actually picked this for about a goal, so that's I think it's going to be a good game, close game. And you're right, we haven't won there we only beat Port Adelaide last year and Fremantle for the first time ever. And the last time we beat the Crows in Adelaide is like 10 or 12 years ago. So it's been a long time. But you know what? We just got to bring across that form from last week, and we should do it, man. Who's your favourite player, man? Who's going to do it for us this week? Is it going to be Big Kerno? Is it going to be Harry, or do we love Walsh? What are we doing there, Liam?
Well, I think my favourite player is Adam Sard because he also brings like a lot of speed to the game. But I reckon Cripps will lift as well as Walsh, I reckon, because they can really help the youngsters, as well as Matt Carroll. I reckon he's going to have a blinder of the game.
How good is Carroll? How good is Carroll, man?
He's
Left
really
foot. He's going to be good, that kid. He's going to be good.
Yeah. I reckon Yeah, go.
I was going to say, do you scream out "woof" when you hear when Sardi takes that big kick?
Yes, 100%.
Do you know that jumper punch started that with
Yes.
Sardi? We're the ones who got that going, mate. So, and now we're every time I hear it, I get a little bit of a chuckle that we kind of got that going, mate. Because if you look back, you can see the video of me and Ange Christou setting it all up, and then we got it. We handballed it over. I think that's
right. You guys did a good job.
Hey, Liam, just quickly, mate. You know where Adam Sard come from?
Oh, yeah, you're
Gold
rubbish.
Coast.
You come from
Gold
Western,
Coast.
didn't you?
Gold Coast.
Part of the Gold Coast, mate.
From the Gold Coast, mate.
All right, Liam, don't spoil my thunder there, buddy. Jesus.
Sorry,
just because he's your idol, mate. I've been on this show for 65 weeks, mate, and I've got no idols at all.
Where were you the last 3 weeks, mate? All right.
Yeah, I know, but mate, you've been on it for like 8 weeks, and you got idols coming left, right, and centre, mate. Me and man have been sitting here for 65 weeks, mate. Not one idol.
Mark, you're doing a good job.
I've got knowledge, mate. That's what I said.
Can I get that, mate? Can you at least say I'm doing something right here? Am I doing something right, Liam?
You are doing something right. As long as you show up every week, that's all that counts.
I'm trying to, mate.
Oh, I love that.
Unfortunately, Liam, mate, I've got a manager, and the last 3 weeks he said to me that there's no contract that's been signed on the show, and every time I jump on, he just blanks me off. So we've negotiated now with Rocco and Liam and Manny, and the contract is going through. So now they'll let me go on the show. So my apologies for the last 3 weeks.
And look, I don't usually like let out the contract details, but because we're a big family here, so we used to pay him 1 spud, but now we give him 2 spuds a show, and that's why he comes off.
Oh, boy.
Love that.
And so you reckon, where do you live, Liam?
In Melbourne here,
Right.
Victoria.
In the house.
Are you? Yeah, I know. Are you far from Northland Shopping Centre?
No, about 20 minutes.
Right.
All right. Are you going to be watching the game this week?
Yes.
Now, can you get your parents to bring you down, right? because we're having our big event, right? We're going to have our big event, and I've actually got a bit of a, here we go, the TJP catch-up, Adelaide v Carlton at the Sporting Globe. So we've got the whole bottom area booked out, and we all watch the game. Every screen will have the game on. There's some nibblies there, and you can catch up, and you can meet us. You can meet all the fans. So, mate, if you can, if your parents can bring you down or whatever, man, we'd love to see you guys down there, man. And anyone else too.
I might be coming down. I've spoken to my parents already, so I'll try to come down.
Good work, Mark. Well
What time
done.
do you want us? What time do you want us there?
Look, we're going to get there about 3 onwards, and we're going to hang around. The game starts about 4:20 or 4:10 or whatever. So, yeah, anytime after 3, where as soon as you walk in, you'll see our area all booked out. And, yeah, you can come down and, man, and we can you can meet all the boys. You can meet Paolo and Mark, Big Vincenza. You can meet us all, man, and we can watch the game together.
That's good. Because Paulie, Marcello, and Seba.
Yes.
Their nonna lives on the same street as me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we're actually known each other for a while.
Ah, there you go. There you go.
So at the Bulldogs game at halftime, Michael and Marcello came over to speak to us, and I was like, can I come over to meet Rocco? And then I end up didn't come in because the game was about to start. But now I'm glad I met you on this.
Now you meet me and yeah, try to come this weekend, which would be good. Yeah. But if not, and I'm sure you're going to try to make it. If you're at the game, man, and you're around, man, make sure you come down and say hello, man, and we'll meet up. We'll have a bit of word. We'll get
Liam. We'll get Liam to come down. You're idle there. We'll get him to come down and say hello.
Yeah, of course.
Mate, when I'm across, I'll 100% be. I'll 100% come to an event, mate.
Good.
Yeah, 100%. He's actually. Liam did say that he's be coming down to Melbourne for a few months, so I'm looking forward to that, and we can all catch up. Yeah, so it'll be good, man. You're a star, man, for coming on. You know, like there's a lot of people out there that are too scared to come on because they're scared of Manny and Mark. You know, but you came on. You're taking the heat. You threw a few jabs. You let everyone know. So we're going to beat the Crows by about 10 points. It's going to be a big game, and mate, we're climbing up the ladder, mate. Mate, just have faith, man. You're a young kid, man. Just have faith, man. We'll be right, man. We got a good side. We just got to put it together, man, and then we'll be right.
We'll put it together. We'll make the 8.
100%, man. Hey, can you promise me that you'll come on again next week and we can review the game, win or lose?
Yes.
Done.
I'll try come on.
100%, man. Here we go. We just got a $3 donation from Seba. Thanks, mate. I wish I was young like Liam again. We all wish, man. You got. I'm telling you, I reckon. You've got at least 10 or 12 premierships in you, mate. So get ready for the onslaught, mate. Get ready for the Hey, listen, you're getting some love, mate. We love Liam.
Yeah,
everyone's loving you, mate. Seba's loving you. Here we go. It keeps that many messages are coming up. Oh, look at this. You're a star. You remind me of my beautiful son. Oh, that's Veronica Tompkins. What do you feel about like Manny not apologizing to Scotty? I think that's pretty poor by him, isn't it?
Manny, that was a disgrace what you did.
You have to be careful these days, Liam. You've got to be careful. You have to be careful, my friend. You know what I mean? I apologize to Scotty. I even wished him happy birthday. But you know what I mean? If you want to play with the big boys, you need to be prepared, you know. And, it's I know it's hard, and I know at the moment they're hurting because the Gunners lost this morning from PSG. But, you know, as I always say, shit happens. But you know what, though, mate? It's really, 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 really good to see someone like yourself coming on the show. And like Rocco said, don't be afraid if you see Rocco. Go and say hello to them. It's fantastic, and this is why we do the show. It's about having some fun, and it's about getting everybody involved. And as Rocco said, we are one big family, even though we may hate each other's teams. But this is what it's all about. Spending a few hours here, having some fun.
Hey, James says, tell Liam, I said hi, man. I'm telling you, you're a star, man. They're loving it. You've done a great job, man. I'm telling you to get on here and have a bit of a chat with the big boys. You've done really well, man. We love you. Mate, go the Blues. Hopefully I'll see you Saturday, and we'll see Liam next week.
Yep.
Thanks, brother. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Yep, you too. Thank you all.
See you later.
See ya.
See you later.
Bye,
matey.
See you later,
Bye-bye.
mate. Boom.
How good was that, mate? He was a star.
Brings back memories, mate, when I was a kid, eh?
Oh, no.
That's why I had to bring out the poor Vanderhaar, mate. At that age, we used to just love to get a windy here.
You know what's funny? Like, we go off here and we have a bit of a thing, and people think that we're joking, but I'm serious. I really do hate you guys, right? But at the end of the day, you get all these comments, and then he comes on, and it's just a kid, and you go, oh, I hope you don't take offense, man. We're only joking, man. I don't want you to, we love you guys coming on, man. So, no, that's
Where's Hawker? Where's Hawker been?
Well done, mate. Well done,
true.
mate.
That's true. Hey, did you notice? No, we love Hawker. I was going to say I haven't seen Hawker since they started kind of having a bit of a bad run. No, I reckon he's just had a bit of homework and shit like that. So we make sure anyone else want to come on, and in the meantime, I'll put up the link again. Anyone else want to come on and have a quick chat, man? We got a little bit more to go. What we're going to do now is, let's have a look at this. Go, Manny, your job. Stop looking down, you banana.
All right. Sorry, Rocco. I unfortunately, I do get text messages from others. Well, it's lovely to see the Magpies sitting on top, which is, I think it's been a long time since we've had such a really good percentage. We've sort of been up there, but our percentage has always been sort of, in the, close to what Essendon normally averages. Okay, so we've got Collingwood, who's lonely in the 8 at the moment. And when I say lonely, we've got Carlton and Essendon, who are both on 12. But geez, look at Carlton's percentage. They're looking really good. And, of course, we've got the Bombers. Well, what can I say about the Bombers? They're just struggling. They're all struggling in life. But you know what? The Tigers should be happy. They're doing better than the West Coast Eagles. They're doing better than North Melbourne. And I reckon they're going to get another 3-4 games under their belt for the year. They've got some really good young talent coming through. But, Magpies for me at the moment.
Magpies are up there.
Yep.
You go, sorry,
I love the way you do the ladder, mate. But just got to be mindful with the ladder, to me, is really irrelevant at the moment, mate, because we're always going to be one game short, all right? So, to me, we're always going to be a one game behind everybody else. And we're going to be floating around, between the 12 and 8th position. We have to play Gold Coast, mate, as soon as possible. We're always going to be a game short, mate. That's the AFL.
You know what? That happens through the whole year, man.
It doesn't, mate. It doesn't.
Worry about that. It doesn't matter. But what you do count on, it doesn't, because what happens, it all evens out. So what, right? But what does matter is this. I'll tell you what really matters, and I've been saying is percentage. And your percentage has been either 90 or below for the last 3 or 4 years, man, and you're doing it again. You've actually got, I think, the 4th worst percentage in the competition again. And that says a lot to me. Forget about points at the moment. You're right, but you cannot score, and you get heavily scored against. So your percentage is really the worst. And when you look at Carlton, you can say whatever you want. We've got the 4th best percentage in the competition. You might have, but then I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, but you played West Coast and North. You played West Coast too and almost lost.
Yeah, but you play West Coast. You play West Coast, You played them on a mutual
So
ground, mate.
what?
We didn't-
So what? What? You only won by 2 points, Mark. And the
Yeah,
other thing
yeah.
is, North
West Coast are hard to
Melbourne.
beat up there, mate.
North-
West Coast are hard to beat up there.
So, oh yeah, all right. Now they're hard to beat. They just got punished just this week, right?
Yeah.
By Hawthorn, right?
Yeah.
So they're not hard to beat up there. They've lost their last fucking 18 out of 20 games, so they're not hard
Yeah.
to beat over there.
They're a bit more
And-
competitive.
And
They're a bit
I'll
more
give you another
competitive.
one.
Yeah.
North Melbourne, right? Everyone goes, oh, you just played North Melbourne. They almost beat Port, right? So those wins that we did weren't as as terrible as you think. So you know what? Why isn't your percentage up there? Why didn't you beat fucking thing by? Why didn't you beat Melbourne by more? Percentage says a lot, Mark. And if you really want to be,
it does. I'm not disagreeing with the percentage side of things. I'm more concerned to about the ladder position. So to me, it's irrelevant to me. It's irrelevant to me until we play Gold Coast, mate. That's all there is to it.
no, it's not. What? So if you're 5 or 6 games
Well, we're not
down by
looking
the
at
last
that
round,
all year.
it's irrelevant.
So when we get to that, we'll discuss it. At the moment, it's irrelevant. At the moment, I'm saying it's irrelevant. Not later, right now.
No, it's not, because we all do it. We're all going to have buys.
You've had your buys, or we've had our buys, but we're still
And you'll
one
get
day
a
behind.
buy too. You'll get a buy too. In actual fact,
We've had our buy.
right? Hey,
We've already had our buy.
so far you've made excuses about buys, about the weather, about being too young. Mate, that's your problem. That's Essendon's problem. It's the excuses.
Telecommunications of the phone.
That's the problem. You know what? We're going to get someone else on while we do the tips. How's that sound?
Boom.
Bring it
We're
on.
going to
Hey,
get
yo,
the
mate.
Bluebagger. How are you, mate? He's been waiting
pretty
there.
good,
How are
dude.
you, mate?
Pretty good.
You're going to be there
Pretty
this
good.
week, aren't you?
I sure am.
What have you got to say?
Where do I start with this? Manny, mate, you've got to sometimes be careful in terms of biting your words.
What do you mean?
In terms of what is it? Geelong are going to punish us.
Yeah, you got beaten there,
But
man.
that's all right. It is what it is.
Well, you know what? It's I mean, for you winning the game, it's bittersweet, isn't it? It's bittersweet because pretty much it's a pie in my face. So you know that's something that's good for you. Now, had you lost, believe me, I wouldn't have let it go. But like Rocco today, he's taking advantage of the situation. So you know what? And I'm the first to put my hand up and admit it. You guys did well.
The point was, Manny, you didn't say that we would lose. You said that we had 0 chance and we were going to get smashed. That was the difference. If you had said, listen, I think Geelong's going to win, well, you know, that's a pretty good tip. You said we had no chance.
No, look, you know, it's proven that even the experts can get it wrong.
Yeah, listen, man, I have to admit, at least Manny and Mark, they, you know, we all show up and cop our fair
Nah, that's all right, mate.
Hey, do you want to sit on while we do our tips there, Pete? And you can give us your tip.
Yeah. No
all right, let's do it. I'll get that up so we can have a look at it. Here we go. Let's go and let's do our tips.
All right. First game. Thursday night tomorrow. Essendon are in, mate. Essendon versus North Melbourne at Marvel. Do you know what, though? I'm going to go cheeky here. I have a sneaky feeling North are going to get this done. I didn't like what I saw from Essendon on Friday. Collingwood should have smacked you by more. I think North have to get a win some stage. I'm going for North.
Yeah, if Curtis was in, I would have guaranteed probably the best small forward going around at the moment. But even with Curtis out, as I said, mate, they're playing in Marvel. North Melbourne play a good game in Marvel, and to tell you the truth, I don't rate Essendon at all. I said this last night. They're a bottom 4 side. North Melbourne should win this. I'm going North too.
Before Mark says anything about this game, because it is his team, I'm going to toss the coin.
Oh, he's doing the toss of the
Toss of the
coin.
coin. This will be the first time I do the toss of the coin.
What's heads and who's
I love it.
tails, Manny?
It's at the tails.
What's that?
Tails. North Melbourne.
Oh, free Norths. I like this. I like this.
Oh, well, you guys are all talking shit, mate. But yeah, obviously this is the marshmallow game, isn't it? So I'm off to the game. I'm off to the game tomorrow night, even though it's a late one. You know, people got to go to work the next day. Kids have got to go to school. But I'm going to go to the game. So I think it's going to be a tough game tomorrow night. North are playing some decent football after last week's game against Port.
They're playing some really decent football, and imagine beating them by 71 points.
Yeah, well, you know, got the best out of it, but they've been playing some decent football all year. They've probably lost a few games that they maybe should have won. So I think it's going to be a really tough, hard game this week. But I think we're going to bounce back. The Mighty Bombers, they're going to bounce back. It's our first home game in 8 weeks. First home game at Marvel in 8 weeks. Fucking AFL.
And also, Mark, also say you if you want to let your all your supporters know that they don't need to take any umbrellas.
No.
Because the roof's going to be shut.
That's
going to be really nice for you guys.
Perfect football conditions, which I think every game now should be played under roof.
Yeah. So when you're sitting there eating your Turkish delight, when you eat your Turkish delight, you won't have the white dust floating everywhere because of the wind, and it's not going to get wet because of the rain. So you'll be okay there, mate. You'll be okay.
We'll be fine. We'll be fine. I'll have me nice hot pie, hot pie, and a hot dog, and a nice cold beer, mate, on Thursday night. So, but I think Essendon will bounce back. They have to win these games again against these teams. We'll get the 4 points, even though it's not going to really matter too much at this stage. But on the ladder conditions, but I think Essendon will win by 5 goals tomorrow night, and let's go the Marshmallow Bombers.
You said that this is going to be a tough game. You're really contradicting yourself, because apparently you can't touch anyone tomorrow night. So I reckon it's going to be.
I think there'll be a bit of touching tomorrow night, especially from that Luke Parker there from North Melbourne, or from what was he from Sydney? So I reckon the Bombers are going to go out there hitting him pretty hard tomorrow night. Luke Parker, we're going to give him a bit of a belting. So, but look, it's going to be a good contest, like I was saying. Both teams, you know, are struggling, you know, to get some kind of momentum going. And I think Essendon by 5 goals. I think we'll just probably take over towards the last quarter and kick the next 3 or 4 goals and win by 5. So.
All right. Well, Wogmum's giving you some advice, and Lana, all the women are giving you advice. Fuck the Bombers, go the rest. So yeah, so they're really, really loving your side, mate. Good stuff. And Peter V, who do you reckon?
I'm going to have to contradict a few supporters here, and I'm probably going to most likely tip Essendon, and I'll tell you why. War is a huge out for North Melbourne. I know North almost gave it to Port. I know we thrashed them 2 weeks ago, but I think I've got a feeling that Essendon will probably bounce back. It'll be a slightly close game as well.
Yeah. Spot on, Peter.
Yeah. Next one.
Unfortunately,
All right, next game, Friday night, back at Marvel Stadium. St Kilda versus Fremantle. I went and watched Fremantle last Friday, and they were good, but without being great. But I've said it. Man, I don't rate St Kilda. They're terrible. But it is at Marvel. Nah, I'm going to stick with Freo. I'll stick with Freo. What do you guys think?
I'm doing the same. St Kilda are they're just another rubbish side, man. Seriously. They'll probably pull out a game here and there, but yeah, I'm going for Fremantle.
No, I'm going to go for St Kilda. St Kilda for me.
Right.
Yeah, I think at Marvel, St Kilda will beat Freo. Freo don't play well away, so at this stage, I'm confident St Kilda will win this game.
What about you?
I actually think Freo win. And also, if you look at the last couple of games against those two sides at Marvel, Freo's actually won.
Yeah, they actually play okay at Marvel. This is the thing.
Yep.
They actually play okay at Marvel, so they're actually.
And the Saints, no, I think their midfield is too one-dimensional still. I just can't I think he could go over the weight. Don't get me wrong. I think he's got a bit too much class for him.
Mate, talk about irrelevant sides. Fucking the Saints, man. Talk about irrelevant. Man. Next one, Liam.
Boom. Next one on to Saturday. Mars Stadium, this one. I think that's in Ballarat. Western Bulldogs versus Port Adelaide. Bulldogs are actually playing pretty decent football, and I'm still finding it hard to pick where Port Adelaide are at. So I'm going to go with Bulldogs.
I'm also going to go for the Bulldogs because it's at Mars Stadium, which is at Ballarat. So, and they've made that a little bit of their fortress there. They love playing over there. Port can't travel at the best of times. So, yeah, I'm going for Western Bulldogs.
Yeah, Western Bulldogs for me.
Yeah, Bulldogs for me, mate. They're playing some good football. They're playing some good football. Their midfielders are pretty good at this stage, I think.
Peter?
I'd say the Dogs because I think they'll pull away in that last quarter, especially the last quarter. I think Port also beat Mars as well, but I think the Dogs will get over them.
100%. How good's the Bont too, man? That bloke just gets better and better, man. How good since he's come back in, mate.
Bam Bam as well. Bit of
and you got Bam Bam. Yeah, no, he's been good.
And Troy isn't even there. Imagine him.
Yeah, I know. They're looking all right now. They're looking all right. And he was going to be one of the coaches that was going to be sacked this year, and he's looking like a genius at the moment. So very good. Next game. Oh, this is a big one.
This is the big one, mate. Adelaide versus Carlton. And yeah, again, I watched Adelaide play. I wasn't too impressed with them. They've had a good start, but Carlton, are they building towards something? I don't know. If it was in Melbourne, I'd back you guys. In Adelaide, I'm not sure, but I'm going to give you a chance. I'm going to tip Carlton.
I like it. Of course, I'm going to tip Carlton. I think, as I said, it's going to be tough, but Adelaide aren't really travelling as good as you think they are. But it's over there. It's going to be tough, but I've got to back the boys. I like what I saw. Blues are going to win by under a goal.
I'm definitely going to go with Carlton. I think it'll either be a comfortable Adelaide win or a very close Carlton win. I'm leaning towards the latter right now.
Like it.
Toss of the coin for me.
You can't do two toss of the coins.
Mate, I can do whatever I like. Heads.
Boom. All right.
Adelaide.
Fun.
Very good. Next one.
Next game. Over here.
You want my tip? Do you want my tip?
I thought I heard you say Adelaide.
Hey?
No, who's your tip?
Sorry, I thought I heard you say Adelaide.
No, I said to Manny, you can't do two flip of the coins. But anyway, I think if Carlton silence the crowd, they'll go down by 5 goals. So Adelaide for 5 goals.
I already got you as an Adelaide because I knew that you don't look at like actual like stats.
Yeah, no, I do look at it. I think if Carlton,
all you do is you think you have no idea how the game's
if Carlton
played.
can silence the crowd, they'll get close, but I don't think they will. So Adelaide by 5 goals.
Beautiful. I'm clipping this too. Nice. Next one.
All right, yeah. So the next game is over here, Optus Stadium, West Coast versus Melbourne. Melbourne are starting to look a little bit better. Like I said, I think their big stars are starting to come into it. And West Coast still aren't looking great, so you got to take Melbourne in this one.
Listen, I'd almost pick West Coast because they did almost beat Essendon. They gave them a good run, and it's over there. And apparently I heard from someone that they're very hard to beat over there, even though they've lost their last 20 games there. But, I think Melbourne will take it. The big Petrarca is going to run through that middle, mate, kick a couple of goals, mate, and they're going to get Pickett there. So, yeah, and Gawn, second best ruckman in the competition, will take over. Melbourne.
West Coast for me.
West Coast.
I'd go with Melbourne.
Melbourne,
flip of the coin.
Come on, mate.
It is tails. So Melbourne.
How do I lose to people that flip the coin to do their tips, man? That's all right. Next game. It's Collingwood. It's another team. It's Collingwood versus Geelong. I I hate to say it again, but like Collingwood look pretty decent. Hey, I hate both these teams though, so I'd love for a draw, but nah, Collingwood looks good. I'll tip them.
Yeah, I'm going to go the Cats, actually. I think the Cats, mate, they play pretty well against Collingwood. And, yeah, I like the way what Cats are doing. They're a very good side. It took a very good side to beat them last week, a very good side to beat them, right? And, yeah, I don't think Collingwood will be able to hold the pressure. I think it's going to be a close one. If Collingwood win, I wouldn't be surprised. But they've won 6 in a row. Cats will do this. I reckon Dangerfield, he might break a few ribs going through the middle, kick a few goals. So, yeah, Geelong by, again, under a goal. It's going to be a fucking nail biter, I reckon.
Yeah, no, I think Collingwood's going to look. If Collingwood manages to beat Geelong, this probably could be the start of a good season for the Magpies.
Okay, so when we said if we beat Geelong, it would be something that was no good, but now you're saying it. Geez, at least use your own lines, Manny. How much are you going to win by?
I'm going to go the sorry.
No, Manny, how much are you going to win by?
Oh, look, I don't want to brag, so I'll say 4 points.
That's weak. All right, go.
Yeah, I don't think Geelong's going to be playing 2 bad games in a row. So I think they'll smarten up this week. So and I think it's very hard to win 7 games in a row these days in football. So I think Collingwood might be coming up to their 7th win in a row. So going on that fact, I think the Cats by 2 goals.
Like it. And did you say, sorry, before I get to you, Peter, you said Collingwood, Liam, didn't you?
I'm going to tip Collingwood, yes.
Yeah.
I don't want to, but...
Peter V, what do you reckon?
I'm going to pull another spread in the works. I really want Collingwood to lose, but unfortunately, I think they'll prove a bit. Geelong kind of paved the way for how to beat Geelong. I know last year they did really well against it, but I think Collingwood are up, basically almost got their full strength side. It's going to be a tight one. It's probably going to be Collingwood by about 20 points at the end. They'll get them at the end.
There you go.
Unfortunately.
If they beat Geelong, they kind of consolidate that at least that top 4 spot.
They
I
do.
reckon. So
They do.
It's a big week for them.
I hope I get the
right,
wrong, please.
Yeah, I know. I hope I get it right there. I hope I get 9. If I get 9 this week, I'm pretty happy,
Good.
man. Next one.
Moving on, Sunday games. A few big matchups here. First one is the Sydney Is that the Battle of the Bridge? Is it the Sydney one? I don't know.
Yeah,
yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah. Who are we picking? I don't know. Giants, I thought were a good team, but they've slipped up a couple weeks in a row now. But then Sydney hadn't really looked like going yet. But I have a feeling they might get going in this one in a big matchup. I'm going to tip Sydney. Let's have a try with Sydney.
Interesting. Yeah, it's over there, but it is over in Sydney. You know, it's not like they got to travel too far. To me, GWS have been disappointing the last few weeks, but they're too good of a side to lose another game. So I'm going to go GWS.
Yeah, I agree. GWS for me.
Yeah. GWS, mate. I think they'll be a top four side this year and be contenders for the flag. So GWS,
but if they lose this, they're definitely on a slide. If they lose this, they're definitely on a slide because it'll be 3 in a row. But
too much talent.
All right, and then the game of the round.
The game of the round, he says. That's right, mate. Hawthorn versus Richmond. And, certain people can play and attend because there's no curfews for this one. It's gonna be a tough game. We all think Hawthorn's probably a top 4 side. They're looking pretty good. Obviously, as a fan, I hope we can put in a good effort. But tipping with my head, you got to pick Hawthorn.
Yeah, I'm going to be Hawthorn. Unfortunately, they're too good. Come back to a bit of form last week. I know it was against West Coast, but they beat them quite comfortably. Yeah, Hawthorn for me.
Hawks for me as well, mate.
Yeah. Hawthorn for me.
Hawthorn for me, but I'm going to put $10 on Richmond, mate. Gamble responsibly.
That's it. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's pretty good, man. And then we can quickly go.
Do the last game.
Oh, is there a last game?
Yeah, one more.
Sorry, guys. Oh, fucking! I was looking at that. Sorry.
Yeah,
You're
Brisbane
right.
versus Gold Coast. This is another good game, but I don't know what's Gold Coast against us. They weren't amazing, and I still don't think they've beaten a great team this year. Brisbane's still the team to beat for me. I think they're my premiership favourites. Brisbane.
Yeah, Brisbane will bounce. Yep, Brisbane will bounce back this week. They'll beat Gold Coast, mate. They'll give them a lesson.
Brisbane for me.
Peter.
Brisbane for sure.
Yeah, I think they're playing pretty good, and don't get me wrong, man. I'm impressed what Gold Coast are doing this year, and they'll make the 8. They'll make the 8 with the way they're playing. So, but yeah, Brisbane for me.
Yeah,
so
they're a game short. They're a game short. Wow,
it was a big week for Rocco. He got 8, so he's cut the lead from 8 to 4. Liam got 5, and Manny got 7, so he done pretty good. So he's equal lead, and Mark got 4. So
I wasn't even on the show. What happened there?
Well, you sent your tips in, mate.
Happy you got 4, mate.
I would have been smashing you guys by now, mate.
What do you mean?
Mark V2 voted for you, mate.
Don't make everyone think that you sent in your tips to our chat. So don't start talking, mate. You sent in your tips. You only got 4. You've been pulled back slowly. I'm making my comeback, mate. I was down 8. I'm down to 4, and I'm gonna come flying through that.
Yeah. After your tips this week, Rocco, I don't know, mate.
Yeah, that's what they were saying last week, and I got 8.
Ooh.
That's true.
No risk, guys. I'll leave you to
You're
it.
like the
Thanks, Pete, for joining. We'll see you. We'll see you on. We'll see you on Saturday for the KP catch up. Make sure you get your tickets there for free. So go down there, go look at try booking, get your ticket just so we know numbers. But we'll see you down there. Thanks, mate. All right, before we go, we got the last 10 minutes. I'm going to bring in, where are you, Oz? Are you there? Here he is. How are you, Oz? How's things, mate?
Good, mate. Got a new haircut.
Oh,
mate.
There's going to be another Rocco on the show.
What?
There's not many Roccos around, mate. There's not many Roccos around. McLovin, they're loving you, mate. They're loving you, mate. So how's things? You unfortunately won't be there this week, will you? You're working.
Yeah, I'm working. I won't be there at the Spelling Bird this week. Yeah.
That's all right. We'll see you next time, man. But how's it all going, man? Tell us quickly about how these Blues are going to go this week and how we're going to beat them. How are we going to beat Adelaide this week, Oz?
I'd say contested possessions. It has to be in the contest. We have to beat them around the ground,
That's how one would, man. As I said, if we can play that style of football, we're very hard to beat in the contested. We're one of the best in the competition, and so it's definitely going to be one in the center there in the contested kind of possession. We've also been pretty good in other aspects of the game. I mean, goals from defence have been pretty good for us. You know what I mean? Our defensive acts is our defensive part of the game. Our defense is one of the best in the competition at the moment. So, yeah, things are looking good, man. Not many teams don't score a lot against us. We got some of the best defenders back there. So it really does help. And Oz, I said it, Gorn second best ruckman because we've got the best ruckman in the comp, haven't we?
Yes, we do.
I love the bloke, man. Nah, listen, Gorn is a fucking star, man, and that's what I think all ruckmen aspire to be. Someone like Gorn who gets around the ground, gets the tap outs, takes the marks, kicks the goals. TDK is a bit like that. He's very energetic. I think that's another spot that we can actually beat Adelaide in the ruck division if he can. I forget the ruckman's name, the Adelaide ruckman's name, but yeah, if we can win that contest, we're going to go a long way. Because he's like another midfielder, isn't he, Oz?
What's that?
He's like another midfielder, TDK, because he gets a lot of his own ball. And even last week, by three-quarter time, I think he was third for clearances out of the centre. So, that's from a ruckman. So, I think he had 5 by three-quarter time. So the bloke
is
is
very valuable to TDK.
Very valuable. Kicked that great goal. That was good. I was right there. I was right in front of him when he kicked that goal, man. He was pumping up the crowd. So that was pretty good, wasn't it, mate?
Yes, it was. I was at the game live, so I saw that too, yeah.
Yeah, nah, we were all there. Hey, and how loud do we get when we start getting pumping? I know that, mate, we're one of the loudest crowds out there. I mean, Collingwood's right up there too. But when the Blues really get pumping, man, I mean, actually, I was a little bit disappointed, 67,000. There should have been a lot more Sunday game.
I was expecting 80,000 or more, but it ended up being just over 67,000. Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon some of those Geelong supporters didn't show up, but really a lot more should have been there from our. But in that last crowd, especially when Hewitt kicks that goal from 60, hasn't he become a good player, man? Hewitt is definitely all Australian contention, mate. How good this bloke's playing, man. So he's killing it at the moment, really. And when you listen to him talk, very humble, man. Just doesn't say much, just does his job. So he's been really good, man. This year, Hewitt's been our best player. He's definitely leading our best and fairest, and it's helped. It's helped people like Cripper. It's helped people like Walsh coming into the side. He's taken that heavy hits in the middle, getting the ball out and allowing our other players to run wide. So he's been really good, hasn't he, mate?
Who, Cripper?
No, Hewitt. Cripper's been good.
Sorry, Hewitt's been very good this year,
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So it's been a big difference, and that's what you need. You need a couple of those, not lesser lights, but those couple of those medium kind of tier players to lift another level, and that's what you need for your team to get better, mate. You need these players to get better, and Ollie Hollands, the Holland boys have been playing well. Even Cottrell, as a link-up man's been really important to us. As I said, Sauce has been huge. Wiedering does what he does, and having Big Harry and Curnow clunking marks. I mean, if we didn't have Harry, we wouldn't have won that game. In that last quarter, man, he took like 5 marks that were contested marks that was so important, and to have a big man like that, very important. Happy with the bloke that he came back through his little bit of a hard time he had. So, yeah, it's good to see him back and kicking goals.
Yeah. Hey, Oz, quickly, do you go to the games regularly, or do you watch it at home, or
I go to the Melbourne games and I watch the interstate games at home. Yeah.
So you go all the games at home, do you? Or
yeah, he comes
in Melbourne,
all the games.
All the Carlton games. Yeah.
Yeah,
he comes all the games.
Good.
So
massive Carlton. Him, Peter Bluebagger, man. They're huge Carlton fans and huge Jumper Punch fans, man. They come on all the shows. Yeah.
So I did a bit of research there, Rocco.
Yes.
I did a bit of research, and it shows even though the Bombers are just under Carlton's paying $18 to win the flag right now, and the Bombers are paying $151. Wow.
Nah, you got that wrong. They can't be playing 151.
I haven't got it wrong. St Kilda's paying $101.
Put $100 on it, then, Manny. Put $100 on it.
Oh, you're talking $151.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said 151. I go, what are you talking about? Yeah, no, that's about reasonable.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? So it's telling you, the experts are telling you that even though you both got the same amount of points, at the moment, it's in the next 3-4 weeks, you're going to be able to see how different these two teams can be. And I'm talking about your two teams because you're at the moment at par.
I said it before and I'll say it again. The next 4, 5, 6 weeks.
Round 13. Round 13.
All these sides. And we're in the next 7 weeks, I told you who we're playing. Like we should win at least 80% of those games. And if we do, we put ourselves back in contention for the 8. I think it's going to be hard to get in the top 4 now, unless you go on a big streak. But, in the next, I go, Ange has told me this over and over again, man. When he used to play for Carlton, they used to take it in 4-week blocks. That's all. That's all they used to look. They used to look and go, the first 4 weeks, we need to win 3 out of 4. You win 4 out of 4, you've done excellent. You win 3 out of 4, that's a pass. 2 out of 4, you're just passing, Whatever happens in those 4-week blocks, you move next to the next 4 weeks block and you forget about the last 4. That's all you can do. And now I take that as gospel, man. Our first 4 weeks were terrible. Our next 4 weeks, we've won 3 out of 4. That's all you can do, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like Adelaide, and then we go into the next 4-week block and see what we can do against them, man. And that's all you can do, man.
That's good wishful thinking, Rocco. That's what you need to do as a supporter. That's what I do.
It's not wishful thinking.
Well, it is, because the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'm waiting for, we're playing, North, and now we've got Sydney at home, and then we've got, St Kilda at home. So I'm looking at that concept.
Mark, why do you always have to? Why do you always? I know it's a rival fucking show, right? But you've always got to say something that's ridiculous. It's not wishful. It's not wishful thinking. You know what that is? That's setting a plan.
Yeah, but it's
like your life, mate. It's like your life, mate. All you do is.
I already brought it up earlier. We play North Melbourne later in the year.
You're talking about 4 weeks down the track, mate. Look at it 1 week at a time.
Oh my God, mate. Seriously, bro. You should stop talking, Mark. You were doing okay for the last half an hour. You should really stop talking. Again, what did I say that was wrong? We're talking from a premiership player telling you how they used to play the season. They take it in 4-week blocks. That's how they prepare. Your thing is, you don't know. I'm telling you, Mark, it's best you just, seriously, bro, for your own good, I'm telling you as a friend, sometimes you should just be quiet, man. Seriously.
Don't take it 1 week at a time. We'll take it 4 weeks at a time. We'll take it 1 week at a time. I won't take it 1 week at a time. 1 week at a time. 4 weeks at a time. Let's go on. Let's move on, boys. Come on. Before the chat gets a bit crazy again.
Right.
Hey, Oz, I won't see you this week at the thing, but we'll see you the week after with St Kilda, man. Make sure you get back on next week, man. Go the Mighty Blues. Thanks, brother.
Go Blues. See you guys.
You are a weirdo, Mark. You really are. You've got me. I don't know what to say sometimes. I don't know. No matter, even when we talk sensibly, you come up with your Spudmobiles. You come up with Spudmobile comments, man. Oh, don't take it. Don't look at 4 weeks. All right, whatever. Good job, Oz. Thanks for coming on, mate. Thanks for coming on. All right. It has been a good show. It's been fiery. It's been exciting. It's been I don't think there's an adjective that we can't use for this show. What do you reckon?
Well, we've knocked the nail on its head, mate. We've knocked the nail on its head.
No. You're absolutely wrong there, mate. You're absolutely wrong there, because what we did was
I think you hit the word on the nail, mate. Football. It's about football.
We hit the word on the nail. It's all about the football. That's what we're here for, mate. We're all about the football here, mate. We're all about the football here, mate. We're all about it. No, that's it. We've hit the 3-hour mark. I think it's time to hit the road. What do you reckon? I am exhausted. You blokes wear me out, mate. Seriously, mate. My brain is at shambles after this show.
Hey, great show tonight, guys, and
Great show. Good to see you back, Mark. But leave the craziness next week. No, it is good to see Mark back. I'm glad that your internet didn't break down today.
You know, and Seba, forgot to give you a box of tissues in regards to your Gunners losing this morning. And Veronica, you want to have an opportunity, go and give your beautiful son a hug, you know, and just comfort him. You know, he's obviously got a face that only a mother could love. And and good luck to him. And you know, maybe he'll come back on the show one day.
Say, you're gonna treat the women with contempt. That's fine. I always try to treat them a little bit better. For me, like women are special. They always deserve to be special. But you have just proven again that you
That's poor.
It's pretty poor. It is pretty poor. It is pretty poor by him. Yes. Thanks, everyone. Look, Gunners, he wants to thanks for bending Manny and Mark over tonight, man. Listen, man, that's what I do here, man. I like to punish people. Rocco Motto, Frank's rivals for brightening up my Wednesday night. That's what we do. As we said, man, we have a bit of fun here. We have a bit of a laugh. We all turn up. We give our opinions. We're passionate. That's the good thing about it. We're all passionate of our side, and you know what? None of us are going to back down an ounce until we're dead, mate. So so it's been good. Yes, I do need some sponsorship for Nurofen, man, because it give me a headache after this. No, it's been good. Hey, thanks guys for joining. You've been stars, seriously. It's been good. That's it. Anything else to say before we go?
Hot pies.
They're the Bombers.
Richmond, come on.
Go the mighty fucking Blue.
Go,